We don't know. All right, welcome to today. We're just going to goof off and talk a little bit about some random stuff.
Whatever we
want.
I
do have a small little kickback for you, too, that I was going to show you. Whew, my throat's finally going away, so I can breathe a little bit. Or I might get it to calm down. I have to go to some MRI thing or something, which I'm hoping I can get out of.
Why are you going anywhere if it's getting better?
Well, that's the thing. They had to push it back far enough to where it might be okay, and I won't need to. So
No,
it's fine.
Just in case.
Back off. He's like, yeah, it's always, it's always a just in case. That poor doctors have to cover themselves for everything they do. And he figured it out in a second because I wasn't taking the medication the way he told me to because I just didn't want any more pills in me. And so instead of taking 2 of them, I just took 1 of them. And I was like, I don't.
You're a terrible patient.
And I was like, but I never lied to him about it. I know. I told him, I was like, look, I just don't want all these pills inside of me. And I was working out until my throat swelled up, and I was great. I was fine with it. And then I couldn't bend over. I couldn't pick anything up. I couldn't cough. Oh my gosh, the cough was painful. And so I went to him. I was like, all right. I had a 30-minute. I had a 30-day. So when I was with him, I ended up moving. And so I went to the local person here thinking, hey, I'll go to somebody closer. That way, I don't have to do a lot of driving or whatever. And she was great. She's an LPN that's here. She was great, but they messed up the blood work that they did on me. I ended up having to pay for a chunk of it. And it was it murdered me. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, how are you guys doing blood? I have full insurance. I have the best insurance in the state. What's happening here, And so I was like, I can't risk this happening again. So I went back to him and said, look, man, I messed up. And I was with her for a year. But I told her, I was like, I said, no, I'm not taking both. I'm not taking what he had prescribed. He's doing the right thing in his mindset over. I said, but I don't want it. And so she's like, well, instead of you taking it twice a day, I'm just going to double it up. I said, well, no, I'd like it to stay the same. I'm fine with it. But you don't get to choose what you want to do.
No.
Ever. And so she doubled the pills up into one thing, wherever. So I'd cut them in half.
I defy you.
I was like, I just don't, because like if I'm 100%, I realized I'll be on it still. Like when when I was in Japan, I got into a real like manically depressive state of just like, why am I still here? Why am I here? Well, I'm not doing anything good. I'm not successful at anything. Well, I'm successful, but I'm just not growing spiritually. I'm not doing anything. So I have this thing that I learned a long time ago to show how long I'm living in a world or a place that I shouldn't be. I'll grow my beard and hair out. I won't cut it. My hair was down to my shoulder blades.
Are you doing that now?
No.
Is that why your beard's so
I'm just
long?
lazy. It's cold outside, and I work outside, so screw that. But and so like I say, it would be like kind of really long over. And that was when I had I was like, okay, look, this is how long it's been. Like my hair was short, like really short. It was back when I had hair, and it's down to my shoulder blades, the beard's all out and stuff like that. So that was when I knew, okay, you got to do something, you got to change something. So, so when I'm
what I should have done is I should have got a work permit, and I should have went to Japan and hung out with you for a while.
We probably could have got you a job on the base, and you could have just lived in my house. Yeah, because you wouldn't have had the perks. But
I think I was married then, though, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, because
so
it was 17. Yeah,
never mind.
Yeah. No, you ain't coming. No. You'll be bringing a horde with you.
Nope.
But we would have had an amazing church, and we would have had an amazing like English program, and your kids would have been brilliant and spoke fluent Japanese, and have been like.
My kids are lazy. They can learn Japanese.
They would, because you'd have to put them in Japanese schools.
Homeschool.
You're not gonna get home. Well, I guess you get homeschool stuff there, yeah. But anyway, I realized that if I kept taking the pills and all that, I would just be on them forever because I wouldn't notice that my heart's all messed up, kind of thing. And that's why I was doing it, because if I'd get a headache every now and then, it'd kind of be a reminder, and okay, cool, yeah, I'm gonna go, because I walk at work like I have 7 to 8 acres at work that I'm in charge of, and I'll walk the whole thing, just the whole deal. And I drop, I drop out, get rid of ants and pick up trash and stuff all the time. So I make sure I'm just running around. So that was kind of my idea behind it. She did not like that. And so I said, okay, well, I'll get off of it for a bit. And then, of course, the thing happened with me having to pay. I was just like, I can't afford to do this anymore. So I went back to him or wherever, and he was just like, back to the Haitian sensation, And he's like,
Haitian sensation.
You're still here, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what I did was, because the headaches, because I was off of them completely for a while, And I was playing video games. I was playing like WoW and whatever online with the guys, the fellowship. And the guys are like, and they're like, you're complaining about your head too much. Do something about it. What are you doing differently? That kind of thing. I was like, yeah, I need to get back on those hard. And he's like, oh, no, the stroke will be fun. Go ahead. Like, shut up.
Stroke out.
And so I went, I went back in, because there was one night where I messed up and I took an energy drink without thinking, because we were doing this. This is when we were screwing up our podcast, like left and right. And I thought I was going to die that night. My head was killing me. And so basically your heart is acting like a pressure washer, and it's just shooting into your brain and shooting into, yeah. And so when I went back to the Haitian sensation, as we can know him, he's like, I could use another patient on dialysis.
How are your kidneys?
Shut up. He's like, because that's where you're headed. I was like, all right, fine, And so what happened,
if you take the pills, your throat don't swell up?
Well, no, here's the thing. Because I started taking the full dosage that he's recommending, the twice a day thing, that's what swelled my throat up. So the whole time I wasn't doing it, I was actually just doing what was better for my body. I knew all along, dear. Yeah. And so he nailed it right away, because I had a 30-minute follow-up. And remember, it's been 3 weeks, like that's been this. And I said, look, this fired up. I said, I couldn't do much, and at night I couldn't sleep because there's not serious pain wherever he's just started nailing stuff. He's like, your tongue swelled up, like you can't breathe, it's real heavy. I was like, yeah. What's that all about?
What'd you do to me?
He's like, yeah. He's like, this is very rare.
Give me some kind of Haitian disease?
Well, he said it's mostly in Black Americans. He's like, this mostly happens for African Americans. Very seldom it can happen for a Caucasian, whatever. He said,
maybe we should get you a DNA test. Maybe you're half black.
He said I was special.
Very special. We've done that.
I'm a rare bit. So anyway, yeah, he's like, yeah, fix it. And so he gave me a new drug, and he started down. But I mean, again, if I can get rid of this, I can go back to working out. I just couldn't squat nothing. I couldn't do a sit. Oh my God, I couldn't do a sit up to save my life, because my throat was just like, nope, like keeping me plastered to the floor. I'm like, oh my God. He couldn't lift my legs up either, because it was the same thing.
Did I tell you that EZ came over to me and said that his throat was swelling up? He was eating sunflower seeds.
You did tell me that. Yes, he was eating seeds.
He was eating those Biggs, the Biggs ranch flavored sunflower seeds, and he'd probably been eating them for about an hour and a half. And finally, he comes up to me. Of course, it's bedtime, go to bed, that kind of crap. And he comes up, he goes, I think my throat's swelling up. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to breathe soon.
That's right, because I was going to give you that trachea tube I have.
Yeah. And I said, really? He said, I think I'm allergic to those seeds. I'm like, buddy, you've been eating them for an hour and a half. It should have closed your throat up a long time ago if you're that allergic to them. He goes, I think it's tightening up. Yeah, his voice, I think it's tightening up. Funny. And I was like, go get a drink of cold water. All right. And he goes, okay. And he goes, all right. He gets, water. And I run out to the shed outside, and I got my siphoning tube. Which is a monster. It's huge. Big, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna cram this down his throat. It's not fit. It's gonna fit.
It's gonna rip his whole throat.
He gonna breathe. I ain't cut his neck open. I don't know enough. I don't think any of my knives are sharp enough.
There's gotta be a YouTube on it. Go to Rumble. They'll have it.
And then after he goes, I feel much better. I just need something to drink. I'm like, you're so weird.
All that salt was drying his
throat.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you not know that? Like, how did you not? You've been alive for how many years, and you didn't know that you eat sunflower seeds, you need some water?
They always say that when they find a dead person in the desert or like out in the wilderness, they always have like an inch or two of water left in their container, because they're saving it. They're just saving it and saving it. And they always said, just drink it.
Yeah, your body will use it.
It'll give you a couple of extra hours or so at least. Yeah. Like you'll get further. They're like, we find so many bodies, and they always have water in reserve. It's not a lot, but we know it's because they're saving it for the last bit of it. Yeah, that easy would just be out there like, I should probably drink some of the water. Got my foot torn up. Yeah, I have children's size. I have adult to down to children's size. There's like 4 different sizes of the trachea tubes that you shove down. I don't have the gel for them, but I'm sure you could. Yeah, I'm sure you could find something that would just at least get the job done.
Hawk to it on that thing.
We'll get it going.
Oh my God, I can remember when my kids ran around the yard saying "hawk to a spit on that thing," constantly spitting on the ground, and they had no idea what it meant.
Which was the best thing to keep.
Yeah, I don't even know where they heard it from. Like, at that time,
you didn't have internet at all.
No, at that time we didn't have internet, and none of them have cell phones, and so.
I mean, the kids at church, baby.
They're saying hot to a spell on that thing, and I was like,
it was funny because
they were all doing it.
They're like 6 years old.
Yeah, they're all like little runts.
8 years old. Like, spit on that thing. And
they were like, but they spit on random things.
But they didn't. Yeah, and then they would just like dribble spit. You know.
And I said, hey, it's like, stop saying that. Like, why? I'm like, because I said.
Yeah, like I
was like, where did you even hear that from? And it was a pastor's son.
Always.
It's always the pastor's kids.
PKs are the worst.
It's like I'm leaving that church. I left that church. Not because of that, but
yeah,
I might as well have that.
God. Yeah. I went back to our old church on Wednesday. I've been helping out a local guy. I've been actually putting a microphone on him. He's a coin shop owner who started out selling baseball cards, and he made a killing selling baseball cards back in the 70s when it was a big, it's a big deal.
Do people even buy those anymore?
I believe it's a few people. Like, he has a few rich clientele, like doctors, lawyers that have good money that have asked him to complete their decks that they have. Like, they'll have like a 95 top series and they want to that kind of thing. But it's not, cards are not a big thing anymore. I don't know why, because you would imagine that would have been, a big push. Comic books, I don't see comic books being as useful digitally, but I'm not growing up in the era where everything is digital and that's the only norm.
Do they have digital comic books?
Oh, yeah. They've been out for years.
I had no idea.
And people are buying digital comic books instead of the actual ones because, I can't remember going into a comic shop. He had a guy come in the other day who he had helped. This guy came in, he's like, yeah, my leg's bothering me. He's a young guy, too. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he showed him his leg was swollen. He goes, boy, let me tell you something. You get to the doctor right now. He said, that's what I had. He said, it's a blood clot. And it's going right to your brain.
Ooh.
Get there now. And the guy came back. I was helping him out. I was working over there, not working, but just, hanging out and being annoying. And the guy came up and said, Bud, you saved my life, dude. They told me had I waited another week or two, it could have shot into my brain easily. It was a blood clot. And they gave me stuff on, yeah.
Dude.
And he was so happy, like he's hugging his neck. But he dropped off a box, two boxes of comic books. And they're never. I've bought a few from him in the past. They're around here somewhere. Gosh, I probably already lost them in this nightmare of a room we have. But there's a few in there that in top condition are selling for like $125, $130, but you can probably get 80 for them. There's about 4 of those in there. But there's a lot of $40 to $15 comic books, which people are more apt to pick up.
Yeah.
If there's something worthwhile. But I don't see people really hunting for comics. Like, if you go to eBay, there's just a plethora of them on eBay. Like, I won't even bother putting mine on eBay. It's just, they're just not going to be of any use, And everything I have pretty much that Disney has bought has become trash. It's gone. All my Marvel stuff is garbage. All my Spawn stuff. I was a huge Spawn nerd. All my Image stuff is gone. All the toys that I have that are still wrapped in the packages, never opened.
So baseball card sales go up and down.
Okay.
So there was a big boom from the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, that was when we were collecting.
And then it dropped off, and then it started picking back up in 2021. So from the 90s to 2020, it wasn't like they're still selling them, but nothing like crazy. Then in 2020, they saw a 300% increase in sales because a lot of popular athletes were retiring.
Okay.
Around that time, so it goes in phases of when these guys retire. It's like when Michael Jordan retired, sales boosh, Right. So that's when the sales go up and down. People otherwise they just kind of are stagnant.
Yeah, because I asked him, I was like, "Do you miss it?" He goes, "Oh God, yeah," because he sells coins now.
Yeah,
he sells a lot of silver, a bit of gold, but he sells a lot of collector's coins. And I didn't realize there's people out there that spend a fortune on pennies. There's people that collect pennies and they'll spend a fortune on them.
There's a guy here that sells states dollars. So before we federalized our money, every state had their own dollars. Each bank in each state created their own dollars. So here in our state, there was 3 different banks that created dollars that were accepted. And those bills are worth hundreds if you just have one bill. Just one in mint shape. It's worth hundreds of dollars because you can't get them anymore. They're not in print, obviously. So.
I hate myself for messing up Dad's. Dad had a German penny. It had it in a location for 30, 40 years. And I picked this thing up and I was like, whoa, that's a German penny. Like his dad brought it from the war.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked it up and it was going between $5,000 and $50,000 between the quality penny. I said, you know what? You need to keep this safe. Put this somewhere safe. And I didn't pay attention to him. And I didn't know what state of mind he was in. I didn't know he was that bad off, you know?
Yeah.
Because he was talking and coherent and all that. I guess.
Yeah.
I can't find that sucker.
Really?
I have hunted that house. I said, Dad, we got to find this thing now. Come on.
Probably should have told me before I moved him out of Alaska.
Well, I called up and told her.
Yeah, she ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, and that's what I messed up at. I told her. But I was like,
She probably took it and sold it for $500.
no, she would have sold it for $5, or she would have given it away. Really, she was so into that Hot Wheels set. We had a 1954 Hot Wheels set, original everything.
Yeah.
In a perfect box.
Yeah.
Sat in storage for just 50 years,
Something like
45 years. It's
No, he pulled it out and
we messed
maintained
with
it. Yeah, he maintained it throughout the years.
There you go. Yeah, it was.
Make sure it didn't rust out or anything.
They had the original cars.
Original tires.
The original tires were on them. The track still worked. There's still
Yeah.
power to it. Kind of a concept, and we were saving it for our eldest brother. She sold it for $5 at a garage sale.
Yeah, she had no
and
concept.
brushed it off as though it was nothing. It was just trash. I was like, we were saving that for otherwise I came down here to mail it to him actually, and whatever.
This is back when in Hot Wheels you could change out each piece of the car.
Yeah, and he has one of the cars still because it was in one of his tins of some kind, so he still has one of his cars. It's like a Corvette.
The train set gone. He had the old.
No, I think
one of the original electric train sets.
I think our older brother has that.
Did he get it?
I think he's got it.
Oh, that's
because
good.
I was trying to get him stuff. He might have it.
I hope so, because that was like one of the first generation.
Because it was
electric train
his
sets.
originally. It was his originally. I think he got it as
so.
a gift from grandparents.
I think he got it from. I think Dad inherited it and gave it to him or something.
Maybe
like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. I think so. Because I remember trying to get those to him, and I was so mad when I found that out. It was a 1952, 1954 Hot Wheels set.
Do you remember that bolt action rifle he had from World War I? World War II? World War One.
I vaguely remember. Heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Smoothest action ever and all that.
Yeah.
He had to sell it to get some money for us to move yet again. I have one in my closet, but it's not the original stock. Somebody had taken that rifle apart. I don't know what happened to the original.
Mauser?
No. It's not the German one. It's the American one. It's the
M1 Grand.
Rock Island 30-06.
Okay.
Bolt action that it came in like the very late World War One, and then got into beginning of World War II.
Yeah.
Before the M1 Grand was invented and took over. M1 Grand was just a semi-automatic 30-06 basically.
It's just a faster version. Yeah.
And so, actually, I think the M1 Grand's a 30-06. Could be, yeah.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And so, but this is and I looked it up. There was a series of them where some of the barrels are bad and some of the barrels are good, and it's basically you'll know because if it goes bad, it already went bad by now.
Okay, yeah.
And this one's good, but I'm gonna try to find the original stock and give it to Dad because he lost his.
Okay,
or he had to sell his.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to hunt.
I'm sure we could find somebody on eBay somewhere's got one because they can sell the stock. Yeah,
they're like $300 though for a replica.
Oh,
I mean it's wood, and it looks identical.
Yeah.
The serial number's on the barrel, not on the freaking stock, so it doesn't really matter. If it's the same kind of wood and it's the same shape
is
and all
it
that.
in good shape, the one you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Say we can
shape.
make one and just kind of get it by, but if it's not fine.
Somebody made a stock for it out of another rifle and some kind of Remington, and they carved on it to get it to fit, and they used it as a hunt rifle up in Alaska.
Oh.
And then Johnny inherited it, and then he's like, "I'm just gonna give it away." He's like, "Oh man, I'll take that." It's freaking. He didn't know what it was. He's not a gun guy. And I was like, dude, that's a Rock Island from.
He just sees
war.
Value. Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
That I need.
Everything he has, he sees value in. He's at one point, he's like, I can resell that. if times get bad and I'm starving, I can always sell a gun.
Yeah,
that was his idea. Yeah. He's a survivor, so to speak. Yeah, I'm not a big gun guy, but I really want to trick out, so to speak, his 45-70. I have seen some beautiful kits for 45.
God, why would you? Why would you though?
There's a guy who put a suppressor on one that covers almost the whole gun, and it doesn't even move like a 22. He just holds it up and doesn't even move. It's just, I mean, it has the action of a 22. It's awesome. The suppressor is just like this
Suppressor,
ugly.
yeah,
It's
take
super
away all
ugly.
the recoil though.
That's what there's the only thing I can think of that's taken away the recoil. He just put that thing. I don't even know if that's the barrel. He might have even taken the barrel out.
If somebody gave us one that was already tricked out, we couldn't afford to shoot it. Them freaking bullets are so expensive.
You couldn't, yeah. I'd be like, okay, happy birthday. You get 2 rounds.
Yeah, exactly.
This cost me $40.
I can't wait till tax return time. I can buy a whole box of ammo.
It's like, bear rounds were like $50 and it was like 6.
I would like to have a 44 Magnum lever action rifle.
I would love one.
That'd be cool.
Why are they $1 billion?
Because they don't make very many of them.
Yeah, I mean, every time I go in there and I see the Henrys, I'm like, I don't want a gold gun. Like, it's pretty and all, but I don't want this shiny gold thing. Give me now the black, that like black pewterish color that they've been coming out with is nice, but those are more.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, come on, I want a 45-70 and I want a 44 Magnum, and I need a snake gun. I need a good, but I want to get into
a Judge would be kind of cool for a snake gun. Get the 410 caliber, get the 410 shotgun shell inside the Judge.
Yeah, there's some big snakes here. I could see that.
But if you get the aluminum Judge, it's not so heavy, so it won't be so bad on your hip.
Only ones I've seen are the Tauruses, and I'm not going that route per se.
Well, that's who makes it, Taurus.
Oh, they're the only ones that make the Judge? I thought there was another one who has it.
No, the Judge is theirs. I mean, there might be another.
I did not know that.
There might be another one out there, but Taurus makes a
dumb
lot
of
of
me.
revolvers.
Their wheel guns are...
They're good.
They're okay, yeah, I guess.
They're good. Their semi-automatic pistols were just terrible. It's my first semi-automatic I ever bought was a Taurus, and it came with a bent barrel. I mean, it came
bent
barrel.
I remember,
and then they wouldn't warranty it.
I remember watching a video, and the guy's like, "Here's the Glock something something something," and he's like, and he puts out, "Here's the." He was going through just this here's a gun, the Springfield so and so and so, and here's my Taurus, and he just dumps a bunch of parts on the table.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yes, you nailed it.
It's so funny because like I took it out shooting, and I just could not hit the broadside of a barn.
I remember this because you traded it.
I did,
not knowing it was bent. That's
knowing it was bent. Yeah, I walked forward to a target and was shooting, and when I got close enough to the target, when I'm like 20 feet away, it would finally hit. And then I'd walk backwards and shoot it. And I'm like, man, I'm just terrible. I had such bad self-esteem with my shooting skills because I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with it. And then Chris, his wife, he bought her a Taurus ultralight 38 special, snub nosed. But every time she shot it, it gave her blisters on her hand. It hurt. A lot of recoil.
There's a lot of recoil in 38 special. I don't understand why it made that a girl gun.
I don't know. I mean, the recoil is about the same as a 357 Magnum. It's not that much different. It's just the gun's heavier on a 357, so it doesn't feel as recoily.
Yeah.
You know? But if you have an ultralight pistol and you're shooting a 38 special, it kicks like a mule.
You got to death grip that thing too.
So he's like, went up to the gun range. He shot my Taurus. I shot his Taurus, and he goes, "What do you think?" I was like, "All I want's a concealed carry pocket pistol." Like, perfect. I don't care if it gives me blisters. I ain't gonna shoot it that often. And he took that gun, and then he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with it either. He goes, I can't figure it out. He's like, I think the sights are off. I'm like, that would explain it if the sights are off. Why I couldn't hit nothing. And he took it down to that gunsmith. The gunsmith goes, "Your barrel's bent." He just took the barrel up, put a straight edge on it. He goes, "Yeah, your barrel's bent."
Right out of the store.
Yeah. And so
made in Mexico, baby.
He contacted Taurus, and they wouldn't warranty it, because he didn't buy it. I had the receipt for it and everything. I had it in the box, and I gave it to him, and they still wouldn't warranty it.
See, and that would make me never want to buy one again.
And I never did.
Yeah.
I never bought another Taurus again.
I've never bought one myself.
I would buy a Judge, though, because I think that's the only 410 shotgun revolver that there is.
That's
insane.
That somebody else had to have mimicked that thing.
No
Yeah,
idea.
I've never, like I said, we can't afford guns, so I have what I need to get me through enough. I have a good solid rifle and enough ammo to get me through a good.
I got one of everything that I need. Not one of everything I want, but everything that I need, I have.
But you have enough to arm your house with, which is a nice little like ship's cannon kind of setup.
Yeah, my problem is I got nowhere to put everything. Like,
yeah,
I got too much.
Yeah,
and it's
we need
just
to build you a gun cabinet, I guess, huh?
Well, it's too much weight. I live in a mobile home, so
yeah.
I can't put a safe in there. It's just too heavy, and I can't reinforce the floor without taking down the vapor barrier and the insulation. I don't want to break that because it's all brand new still.
Yeah,
I don't want to break it. So I'm just. what I need to do is just take them over to Dad's or something like that.
Build you an add-on to the house and just have you like a little escape room to it.
So there is Smith & Wesson makes the Governor, which is like 3 times as much money as a Taurus.
Of course it is.
Yeah. So Smith & Wesson makes one, and then of course there's always the company, the BFR, Big Fine Revolver.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about
they
BFR.
make one too. But
I love my FN. Like I bought this Sig P365 because when I opened up the store, I was like, I need something that I can keep on my hip, in my pocket, whatever. Something that's just out of the way. But if I need to, I can use it. And this guy's like, I got something for you. And he goes, he said, we don't really get these in very often. So, it's the P365 with the sightless barrel. So it's got, or the inlaid sights.
Well,
very inbred because this gun is super scary now. So there's nothing to snag on your clothes or snag on anything if you have to keep it in your pocket kind of thing. There's no sights. The sights are inside. And it's a close range gun.
Have you tested it? Like beat on it and see if it fires?
We have one time at your place, but I haven't really done it since because I was just too worried about it. Yeah, because there's just too many of them that are going off, and it's that 365 and it's another one too now. And their response was just like, I'll never buy another. I'm left-handed, so Sig was fine for me. It was okay. But my FN I love that FN. It shoots beautifully.
Yeah.
It just, so, and normally they have really big guns, but they made 17 versions of that FN whatever it is.
They made a lot of versions of that 365 too, Sig.
Yeah, they did.
There's a bunch.
Yeah, I wanted that MP, the M&P 2.0 or what it was.
Shield. Not the Shield.
They just had come out with it. I held it in my hand. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing feels so good. And I was watching a video. There's a guy I followed on YouTube because he's he's an instructor. He teaches people how to shoot. And he's left-handed. And so I normally try to find those guys and just see what they say. They had been teaching for years. He's like, we have hundreds of Glocks because we have hundreds of Glocks, we have thousands of Glock magazines. We just switched this MP 5.0 or 2.0, whatever it was. Smith & Wesson, I think it is Springfield. Smith & Wesson, I think. He said, we just switched to this gun. This thing is awesome. And I was like, okay, I'm buying it. But I'm so glad I really didn't, just because, the FN was a loaded kit.
Yeah, it was already tricked out.
Yeah, it was a great deal. I was like, all right, Lord, I'm going to do this if you tell me to do this. And tell me not to. Okay, then tell me not to. Like, make the FBI say, no, I can't have this if you don't want me to have this. I love that gun. I've put thousands of rounds with that gun.
It took me a while to decide on the Hellcat, just for the fact that I didn't have the disposable income just to waste on a gun. And I was like, man, if I buy a concealed carry gun and then I don't conceal carry it, it's a waste.
Correct. So
when Jason brought his down, I got to shoot it, got to hold it, got to carry it around for a little while, and I was like, okay, I get that.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, he's normally pretty dead on about what works gun wise too, and.
Yeah, well, he used to be a huge gun nut. He's been out of it so long now, he doesn't really know anything. But
he kind of retired from it. You eventually just kind of move on to new things. Or
he just did it for so long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're like, you don't. I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Cars, on the other hand, it's the same amount of money almost. So
I have never found that direction or passion towards anything, and I worry about my kids because, you ask some people what do you want to do? I want to be a doctor, 100%. Or electrical engineer. Like, I saw this little girl, she wants to be an electrical engineer. I was like, how do you even know what that is?
Right.
But the dead set on it. But me, what do you want to do? Nothing really. To be honest. If I could get paid to play WoW, that's what I would do.
we were so
or
stupid.
Overwatch or something.
We were so stupid for not jumping on that because we were at the era of it starting up, YouTube getting big, everything happening, and people... And these younger guys were taking over. Like, man, we've been playing this game forever. We know everything. We have everything memorized. We know every quest.
I am the best, worst player of World of Warcraft.
I suck so bad.
I know everything and can do nothing.
I suck so bad that my friends who I played with, who I helped them build, I didn't help them build a YouTube channel. I was just there when he built his YouTube channel. And I need to check on him actually and make sure. So they were like, yeah. And it was just like...
You don't need to come along on this one.
They knew that they needed to be in that top 0.1%.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't play 6 hours a day. I don't every day anymore.
I talked to a guy who was just starting to play World of Warcraft. And he goes, how long have you been playing? I was like, at this time, it had been about 9 years. He goes, oh, man, you must have everything. I was like, No. I don't.
We are not. No, so
Like, I have a lot of characters.
I'd say I know a guy who
I made like 15 tunes and didn't gear a single one of them.
I know a guy who has the ability to log on. He plays the rogue. He's played it for years. He's top tier DPS. He's so top tier DPS that he tunnel visions and dies all the time. So there's times where people are like, no, you're not coming because you're just going to die.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But he's like, and everybody loves him. They're like, you're just going to die. He's like, I won't focus. But that's it. He doesn't collect anything. There's a deal where they have like a currency that you can get every month or whatever, and you use it to buy. Where he's got like thousands upon thousands because he doesn't care. He just logs on, does those damage meters. When they're high, he's happy, logs off, goes to bed. He's like, I'm happy and continue. That's just it. And PvP was great, and PvP and all that, but he would,
I do miss PvP. I miss playing that game.
It was okay. I like I said, I have not thought about it at all. Like sometimes a thing will pop up on my YouTube feed. I'm like, I don't care. No big deal, that kind of thing. You guys are still like there's housing now.
It was just fun playing with friends because it was the only friends I had.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know what it is with me. Probably the same with you. Like you're at work and everyone's like, hey, you want to go out? I'm like, no, I'm going to go home. Why? That's where all my stuff is.
It's where my stuff is.
I mean, I wake up and I don't want to leave there.
Exactly.
And when I do leave there, all I think about is going back there. It's like, if it wasn't for the dire necessity of feeding myself and paying bills, I would never leave my house. And
I have a reminder on my phone to take a shower, man. Come on.
remember we used to play? And all of a sudden, I was like, man, I don't feel so good. I feel like I'm going to pass out.
Dude,
we haven't eaten in 10 hours. Go to my girlfriend's house, Wendy's.
Hey, Red, how are you? I had a...
and they'd be like, God, you again? Like, shut up.
I had an employee.
You can't eat here 3 times a day. It's like, watch me.
I had an employee whose husband was, I think we were in Iraq at the time, and he was a big WoW player, but they wouldn't let him play WoW over there, so that was 15 months. They were giving him 3 months of overtime over there at the time, and it was like 15 months he hadn't played, and Lich King came out. Wrath of Lich King was like the greatest event of,
The best expansion Blizzard ever came out with.
That was when I neglected the world. If I saw a computer and I had, and this is not a joke, if I saw a computer and I had access to it, I downloaded WoW to it in case I could ever get on that computer and play it. Like if I knew, like, because I was working in film at the time.
I was always so jealous of people who could play at work.
Well, I was working in film at the time, and I got a friend of mine hooked on the game that I was working with, and I'd walk in there, and I was working on the sets, and he was working behind the scenes with the production offices, so he had a computer. And I'm like, I know what you're doing. He's like, doot, 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 and he's like this, and I'm like, I've been calling you on the radio.
I saw that alt tab. What are you doing over there? Masturbating. Yeah. I'm definitely masturbating. Oh, thank God.
And sure enough, he's like, I'm just trying these orc hunters out, that kind of thing, and so, and that was back when the game would play on anything, like
Demon Hunter much. Or no, Death Knight. That's what it was. Death Knight.
Yeah, the Death Knight's after that. Well, Demon Hunters came after that.
Death Knight came out in Wrath of Lich King. They were just freaking beast.
They were awesome. It was just like you said, it was a wonderful way because we were in Alaska. Like, you know what? Let me show you where we were.
Yeah, we excelled at indoor sports. And we also reproduced like rabbits and drink more beer and eat more ice cream than anybody.
I'm going to show you exactly. This is something that I found as a little present for you.
Here in Alaska, let's go to the grocery store at...
I'm going to turn it up. You can turn it up.
It's bottomed out.
It bottomed out.
Guessing around 65 below here in North Pole, Alaska.
This is where we're from.
To the grocery store.
She was definitely not born in Alaska.
No,
she was implanted.
Way too clean.
She's way too pretty. Oh, God.
Yep.
I know where all that stuff is.
Yeah. Oh, she's not lying.
Yep.
She's in the heart of it. There's Century Hardware and old Safeway.
It's not called Safeway anymore. So this could be an old video.
No.
Yeah, it's not
It's
called
still Safeway.
No.
When I was there, it was.
Hasn't been Safeway in a long time.
Yeah, it is. I have to look it up now because I want to say it was Safeway when I went there. I don't know if those prices are really much different than what we're doing now. I was like,
$16 for freaking Pop-Tarts.
$4 Eggos. The garbage is always cheaper. The real food is always expensive. Pay attention to the contents of the cart and the total at the end because she sums them up.
Does it say when this video was uploaded? By chance?
Try to find it somewhere because that's what I would love to know now.
Because wasn't that place Safeway when we were kids and then turned into Cars, and then it turned into something else? Remember the Oak and Keg?
The Oak and Keg is connected to Safeway, though. It was a part of Safeway.
Yeah, but it's not there anymore.
The Oak and Keg's not there.
I don't think so.
65 below, hardy Alaskans. All right, let's go check out.
Oh my gosh, they have self-checkout. Oh, so this must be current. They didn't have.
They didn't have self-checkout.
No.
Yeah, you're right. Giving her props for not sliding around on her butt.
It's a nice rig she's driving.
Always take your cart back. Ended up being $139.82, $7.29 in taxes. Good time. Thanks for coming grocery shopping.
Yeah, she got like 15 items.
Exactly. It's very real.
At the most.
This is Summers in Alaska. And so I don't know that I would even be able to find that one. But shop with me. That was... doesn't show that.
It's about 3:15 here in Alaska.
Does it show it here?
And it's 3:15 and the sun is up. So this has got to be on the tail end of winter.
2.8 million views.
That's got to be somewhere around March. February, March area.
It's about 3:15 here.
Because in January at 3:15, it's freaking dark.
I should just put the food outside and try it. Well, there's this thing called a dumpster chicken.
Yes.
And if I could find you an Alaskan dumpster chicken.
Yeah.
Oops.
God, we used to freeze French fries on top of people's cars for dumpster chickens.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they'd get down there and try to get it out.
Yeah, they'll
and
peck at
crap
the,
all over the freaking
and destroy it. These are birds that will take away small dogs when the snow is so bad that they can't. So I was walking outside. These are ravens.
It's a crow on steroids.
It's a crow. Yeah, there you go. It's a monster crow.
They're wicked smart.
They're insane. I was standing. Heading back to my car, coming out of the Safeway, and a piece of bread goes flinging out of the back of this truck, and there's ravens all down at the bottom. So that's called a dumpster chicken, which is why they don't do what that gentleman was saying there, or that person was saying there. And what they'll do is they will feed everybody from the contents of your truck. This person that put their food in the back of their truck, which we've done before. If you're heading home, you don't leave it. He went into another store.
It is called Safeway, so Safeway.
It's still Safeway. Yeah, I thought it was when I was there last.
It wasn't, though. It was Cars Foodland at one point in time.
I thought that was in Fairbanks.
No, it was Safeway.
Maybe that was years ago.
Because I worked at Blockbuster across the street, and I used to go over there sometimes to make change. So it was called Cars Foodland.
I remember
but before that,
it
was Safeway. It was Safeway. Then it was Cars
so maybe they brought it
Foodland.
back.
So now Safeway's back.
Oh.
And Pagoda,
Pagoda,
famous Chinese restaurant.
Pagoda was the
You remember that little dollar bank that was in the same parking lot as Safeway? It used to get robbed every other year.
Got robbed. That's
got
right.
robbed more times than any other bank in history.
Yeah, I remember because it was shut down. I think the last time that I was up there.
Yeah, that is now an orthodontics place.
Okay.
You can only rob a bank so many times where somebody's like, okay, this has got to be insurance fraud.
A Wendy's opened up in North Pole, Alaska, and became the number 1 Wendy's when it opened of the entire food chain.
Yeah, the town was empty, and they were all at Wendy's.
Yeah, you only went because all you had was Pizza Hut and
Well, you had McDonald's.
Pizza Hut, McDonald's, and then you had Pagoda.
We got a Safeway, or no, I'm sorry,
we ended up getting a Taco Bell later on,
a Subway,
and then a Subway. Yeah,
we had a Subway, a Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and McDonald's.
That's more than Heflin has.
And then, of course, I don't know what the population difference is because everybody lives in North Pole. Everybody works in
That's
Fairbanks,
true.
but everybody lives in North Pole.
Yeah,
so the population between Heflin and North Pole is probably...
North Pole is in between 2 large military installations.
Yeah, there's a lot more
and then
people.
Fairbanks itself, yeah. So there's a lot of commuters from that area.
Oh my gosh. Hotel North Pole. You remember Jaybird?
They built that
Jaybird Wings World?
Jaybird, the guy that was
He
selling
built that
crack.
hotel.
Yeah, the guy that was selling
Yeah, he's selling
drugs.
cocaine.
Cocaine, yeah. It was the best. He had a J-Birds. I remember he had a J-Birds in North Pole, and it was just a place to get like burger and fries kind of a deal. But there was no heat. And so this is way back in the day. Dad and I went in there and we're like, what in the world is going on? And we're like, do we stay? And like, we'll get it to go. And the poor little waitress is there and she walks up. It's freezing outside, of course, so it's naturally cold inside there. And she's just bundled up to all can be. And we're like, why are you guys still working? She's like, I don't know. They told us that we were going to just fight through it.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, well, we'll take our food to go. And maybe you should leave. Like what?
That's crazy.
Let's help you find another job. She's like, well, I guess it's better than it being too hot because at least this way I can bundle up. And if it's too hot, you can't always get away from the heat. So,
no,
I don't need it.
No, thank you.
I don't need it. No, I saw that, and I think it was obviously came up on the V because we were talking about cold weather up there. But 65 below, people are still out driving. They're still out commuting. You got to eat. You got to pay your bills and you go to work.
Yeah, you still got to go to work, and nobody wants to, but you just do.
Yesterday here, everybody was excited because it was dropping down 20 degrees and raining, and they thought they're going to shut the whole world down. They're like, they're going to cancel schools, and they're going to cancel works, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, stop doing that to yourself.
You know what's crazy is here, they'll shut down the whole world on a really heavy rainstorm.
Yeah.
Or even the slightest threat of a tornado, or the slightest threat of snow. Like the slightest threat. Not like a 90% chance of snowfall tomorrow. It's like 23% chance of snowfall. Might have slick roads in the morning. Boom. Shut down.
Yes.
Everything shut down.
That's it.
Kids aren't going to school. And then when you go to work, like nobody's there.
Yeah.
It's like their excuse that they don't even. And
Everybody's
nobody
home
gets in
with
trouble
their
for
kids.
it. Yeah,
Everybody's home with their
home.
kids because they're like, hey, I had nowhere to put my kids.
Calling the guy, I was like, hey, where are you at? He goes, it's snow, boss. I'm like, there's no freaking snow. Well, they said it was going to be a chance of snow. I'm like, but there's not. It's completely dry. Like the roads are wet, but they're not icy. Get your butt to work.
Yeah, they get so excited for it too.
Snowballs. Funny.
Do you think that the idea of magical, like wizards with magical staves, staff, or whatever, and magic being cast out of wood and all that, could that come from the concept of Moses' staff?
Well, the
I was
magicians.
thinking about that the other day because they had magicians there. They had
The magicians copied the same thing Moses did.
Yeah, they had the well, and again, they were tricksters or whatever. Because they were
Moses' snake ate their snake, so I'm leaning towards the fact that they were probably a little bit magic.
Okay,
You're talking about 9 gods that they worshipped and sacrificed to.
I guess they were mystics.
Oh yeah, I mean, think about.
I'm trying to remember that.
Of course, it's not in the Bible though. It's in the Book of Jasher. If we really should just go like, I really don't know what the use of it is. It's a hard subject because there is historical evidence of magic for sure.
I don't deny it.
Even in our Bible, we have Balaam, which is probably the most famous sorcerer in the Bible. And his name is Balaam, right? Riding the donkey. Angel's going to kill him. The donkey moves. That's Balaam, right?
That's Balaam. Yeah, right.
Is it Balaam?
Now you got me thinking about stuff I'm not ready to think about.
Well, this is what happens when you bring up a random subject.
I know, right? I didn't I?
But he was a sorcerer, a very powerful sorcerer, very well known. And even God used him to curse the Jews because he wasn't Jewish, but he was hired by Jews to do some prophecy and do some curses to people. Very well known for cursing people until where they died. So,
Let me see. Do. I'm not seeing it there. Maybe I spelled it wrong because I don't know how to spell it. Paul Speaks. Yeah, I don't know. Not important.
But what's that guy's name? It's
How do you spell it? Do you know?
No.
We can talk about it another time. I was just curious because it was something that had popped into my head. I was looking at some stuff and I was like, I never thought about it. Like they could have just been reading Word and come up with the idea of some wizardy staff person or something with it and come from Scripture. But it wasn't important. I was just like throwing that out there.
Balaam. 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 And he was hired by a Jewish king
Chinese Bible?
to do a prophecy and do a curse and stuff like that. And he was well known for cursing people. And
Numbers 22:27. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff.
is that King James or something? It still has the word ass in
It
there
says
for the
King James
donkey.
Version. It does, yeah.
Yeah,
Right there.
that's-
I put it on the other one.
That's funny.
Remember that old Animaniacs episode? When Pinky and the Brain are back watching Samson, and they're trying to figure out how to take over the world with Samson's power, and it aired on television in '96, and I'll never forget it because they were. I've watched a video on it too, and I was like, "Yep, I verify that." Pinky and the Brain were trying to figure out what Samson's power was so they could use it to take over the world like he always did in the cartoon series.
Okay.
And one of them was the jawbone of an ass. And he literally said jawbone of an ass like over and over again in the whole thing. And it was just like this big play on.
They kept saying it.
Yeah, like joy. We must get that jawbone of an ass. You know,
Steven Spielberg at his best.
evil dude. But let's see. Okay, and when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, yeah, anger was aroused, and he struck the donkey with his staff.
Yeah, but if you read what the king hired him to do,
We'd have to go into Numbers 22 range and back up a bit, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. And Balak did just as Balaam spoke.
yeah.
Oh, we can go to the chapter.
So God takes over him basically, and spits out a blessing instead of a curse, and so he was a
I
powerful
called you to
sorcerer.
curse my enemies, and look, you have bountifully blessed them.
Yeah.
3 times. God's like, yeah. And the Balak's anger was aroused. Yeah.
And then the angel
That's
goes
24, Numbers 24:10.
and the angel goes into that donkey and speaks to him through the donkey. I mean, there's some wild stuff in there. And but if you read,
Well, I mean, again, was it Solomon that pulled up the? We went to the psychic chick and pulled up.
yeah, the medium,
medium, and
she brought Saul back to life
Saul
to
back.
speak.
And he's
or
like,
it could have
dude,
been
why are you
Solomon, I can't
bugging me?
remember.
Yeah,
I get those
like,
two.
why are you bugging me? Yeah, I always get those two mixed up.
I know Saul's the older one.
I know
Solomon
there's
is the
parts of
son of David.
I know there's parts of the world where
Dude, the story of Solomon is wicked crazy.
today it's still. Yeah, it's been a while since I've dug into Kings and Samuel.
I'm talking about the ones that are not in our Bible.
Oh,
The extra stories.
They're
They're wild.
I don't even have time to read the ones I want to read. How do you find time to read those ones too?
Well, I mean, it's just like
I'll
I'll read something and in the Bible, and it won't explain what's going on. Like, it doesn't explain why somebody decided to do something.
Yeah.
I'm like, why in the world would they do that? Like, for instance, the whole story between Abraham sacrificing Isaac and his wife falling over dead.
Okay.
It's all very like, what? It's like, huh? And
See,
so
it's weird because I never really think about that. And the sad part is all I ever think about is the Family Guy episode that brings that up. But I'm not going to talk about that right now.
I didn't even know about that.
Well, no. We're not
No, very good.
it's like that time Abraham did something with Isaac, and it cuts to a scene of Abraham just walking down a mountain and Isaac's behind him. And just walking quiet. Yeah. What the F was that all about? Like, that's all I'm thinking because I'm ruined. I'm ruined for life. He's just, yeah.
Yeah. So a brief synopsis, like very brief, because I can open up the notes and go in detail, but very brief. In BC 300-ish, when Alexander the Great was going through and moping everybody down, everybody's now Greek. Everybody's speaking Greek.
He stops the temples, Hebraic temples stop him. Yeah.
Yeah, people weren't speaking Hebrew, reading and writing in Hebrew. Everybody was going Greek because that's what you did. Because everybody's Greek at this point.
Well, they
'cause
showed
he's conquering
him
the world.
When he got to the temples, the priest walked out to him and said, "We're expecting you." And he's like, "What?" And so they invited him into the Hebrew temple, and they showed him scripture that said that he was coming. And he's like,
and
whoa,
Daniel.
and he spared them all.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, walk away from this place. This place is cool.
Well, at that point in time, they translated everything that they had that they used in biblical. They're not Torah. Yeah, Torah teaching, I guess. I always get my Greek lingo or my Hebrew lingo mixed up.
I have to have it written down in front of me.
Yeah,
I've walked away from learning it so many times. I hate myself.
I just don't care enough to remember it. That's my problem because I don't care. But their holy scriptures that they had, they translated them all into Greek because everybody was speaking Greek. Everybody was reading and writing in Greek, and everybody did Greek. So that they translated, and that was the Septuagint. Is what that's called.
Yeah.
Then in 80, so that was like 300 BC.
Yeah.
And they used that all the way up until the time of Rome. And then Emperor Dionysius.
Yes.
I cannot remember the timeline. I have it in my
Let me see if I
notes.
have it here. It might be in my other notes. I do have.
I got it here. I just got to stop being lazy and just push a button. It's like, I was like, okay, so the Septuagint was in between 2 and 300 BC. So when Alexander the Great had his empire,
I have the
and
dates. I just have what he did. Yeah.
they pretty much took their whole Holy Scriptures and translated them. And the Dead Sea Scrolls have copies, full copies
Yes.
of the Septuagint.
But
So
yeah.
we know that it didn't change between the time that they created it in 300 BC to when we found and to when they did the Dead Sea Scrolls, which was around 380 ish. So 600-year period, it hadn't changed, which was cool. But Emperor Dionysian around 300 AD, he burned their library. So they had this place called, how are you saying?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Diocletian.
Yeah, Diocletian. Yeah.
Diocletan, whatever. They had a library that had all the books
Yeah.
that they had because there was way more than they could contain.
Yeah.
Scrolls upon scrolls upon scrolls, and he torched them all. And
So what he did was he killed all the pastors, burned all biblical manuscripts, and destroyed any churches over a 10-year psychotic period. It took him 10 years. He went and he killed everybody. He wiped Christianity. His goal was to wipe the concept of Christianity off the earth.
Yeah. And then Constantine came into power, and then he did the opposite and made it to where officially Christianity was no longer being crucified for being Christians. And so then they created the Messianic texts. So they took, or not Messianic, I'm sorry. It's called...
That would be cool.
no, it's called Masoretic texts.
Start writing those.
Masoretic texts. And so they took the Septuagint, which was in the Greek, and they started translating it into Aramaic, and later on it got translated into Latin and so on and so forth. So that Septuagint was used longer amongst followers of Jesus than the Bible that we have today. So the Bible we have today is relatively newer.
They still had the Old Testament.
I get
We call it the Old Testament.
yeah, but they had all the extra books that we don't have in our Old Testament.
Yeah.
Jasher, Maccabees, Baal and the Dragon, things like that.
Those books existed, definitely.
Oh yeah, 100%. And they use them, and they're quoted in the New Testament that we have today. Enoch's quoted in Jude, and Jesus quotes Enoch one time.
Yeah.
It's not saying that it's a holy divine book or anything. I'm just saying that
Correct. I just like fighting.
rabbis taught it. They studied it and they taught it. That's all I can tell you. Rabbis and early church Christians studied them and taught them. So we took them out of our Protestant Bibles because it was too hard. We had so many new converts coming to Christianity that they were getting lost in those books. And
See, my understanding was because they couldn't go through the 5-point verification.
well, they couldn't until Dead Sea Scrolls came about. Then they could.
That did give them a solid verification of it. Yeah, with the shards they had.
There was enough evidence that they were fine.
Was there 800 something books found in the Dead Sea Scrolls? Like
I don't know. There's a lot.
The only complete scroll.
They
was
found
the book
another
of Isaiah.
They found a whole other set too. It's not the Dead Sea Scrolls, called something else. Another cave that they found that had same thing, old, trapped in jars, I can't remember what that cave was called, but it was
Very interesting.
They
I wonder why God kept that part preserved and kept that much preserved.
Well, I mean, I don't.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if God cares, to be honest.
I mean, very much. It's His word. He has to care. It's His.
Jesus is His word.
No. His word is truth, and His word is life, and His word is eternal, and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. He's going to keep it locked down. That's not something.
Then why
that
do we
he
have
can
so many
vary.
different variations of the Bible?
Because humans suck.
Then God don't really
But
care
again, the
that
variation.
much.
No, the variations
If
of the
God
Bible.
cared that much, He'd be like, "You do this, I'll kill you."
They're only off by 0.5%, and it's just basic dictation.
I'm just talking about translations. You
Well,
know,
okay, hey, when's the last time you read the Jeffersonian Bible?
never
Exactly.
even heard of it.
Exactly. There you go. He cut out the scriptures he didn't like, created a whole religion around it, and it died. There's a couple of people who still have some of the Bibles that they had, gotten their hands on, so to speak. But it was gone. Like there's a book I've been looking at that was Bill Barr's dad's book, and you can't find it anywhere. And I said, if you do find a copy, you can't afford it, kind of concept. It was just some dumb thing he wrote.
Okay,
So it's kind of that idea.
My question is, if those extra books were in our Bible, studied by Christians and Jews alike, longer than they've been out of our Bible, isn't it important that maybe we read them?
I can't even get through the one I have in the amount of time that I want
That's
to.
you, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you're just, you don't have the interest.
You're right. So here's what I'll tell you. Wes Huff says yes, because he's a scholar and he likes knowledge books and information. My question is, does it add to the salvation message?
No.
Does it assist in any way or verify Messiah's coming to earth and dying on the cross? Does it verify Isaiah, Ezekiel?
Maybe, but no, not a lot, not
Because
substantially.
again, like we had talked about when Rogan was saying, oh yeah, she was telling me to read the book of Enoch and all that.
Which
all
makes
the
no
comments,
sense to me.
All the comments were, yeah, we knew the Bible verified aliens. I think what
if
it
you
was
if you're gonna pick a book to verify aliens, it would not be Enoch. It'd be Ezekiel.
yeah, I know it would be.
That's like
I don't know what she.
That's a
yeah,
no
I don't know
freaking
where
brainer.
she
Like,
had that.
why would you choose Enoch?
It would, yeah,
just don't
Ezekiel
make
would be
sense.
well, and Ezekiel's the one that they have warped forever.
If you want to
and a day
verify angels, Enoch. That's the way you want to go.
And again, too, do you think that a lot of because there's a lot of people who would glory and worship angels like crazy, and it would pull away from
Well, I
the
mean, that's
creator.
the entire Catholic religion.
Yeah.
So that's already happening. I mean, that's
Well,
and that you know what book they have? Enoch.
right now their main thing. See, there you go.
Yeah.
Right now their main thing is, and I can't believe they're still
Well, they
pushing
worship.
this. Is
They
that
worship Mary. So I mean, what do you
right?
do?
That I have so much heartache over. The worst thing that they've done is now stated that you can get to heaven through your good works. So they're telling people if you're a good person and you do good things, that's how you're getting into heaven. And I'm like, nobody in the Catholic Church will question.
So many verses in the Bible that dispute that.
I just don't understand. But again,
But that's what the Catholic religion was for. It wasn't there to save people. It was there to control them.
yeah, I believe the Roman Catholicism one was, and then my honestly,
Same as
God,
Jehovah's
things
Witnesses.
I don't understand.
They get into heaven through good works.
Oh,
Jehovah's
yes, they
Witnesses.
do.
So it's easier to control people that
Yeah.
way because you can never do enough good works to feel like you've done enough good works. So
That's
you
it.
give money instead.
Yes, and you keep pushing and pushing, and you keep.
How many
saying on
times have we
streets,
wanted to help somebody and we're like, I could help them move, or I could just pay for them to have a mover. It's like, if I could just throw money at people and help them, like, yeah, spread the gospel in Uganda. You want to come over? Like, nah, I'll just give you $300.
Well, now that I don't play,
It's like, I don't want to help you. I just want to give you the money.
now that I don't play
Feel good about
WoW
myself.
anymore, I'd be okay to go help because I got nothing else to do. I'm like, I got to raid in 2 minutes. Here's $80. Just go get yourself some food, dude. Good luck to you. But yeah, that's like the guy who breaks over on the side of the road. He's changing a tire out, and dude pulls over and says, "Hey man, you need any help?" He's like, "Well, I'm just trying to get this tire." Okay, well, I'd help you, man, but I'd be late for church. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And God, I heard that back in 2000, and I still remember. That's so dead accurate. And like I said, I'm a firm believer that in 2 Timothy that all Scripture is divinely inspired by God, and that He's in control of it. And it's something that's been just embedded.
I don't
into
really
my
agree
brain.
with the whole he's in control
We've
of
already
it.
discussed on this one, and we haven't gone too much further on it.
If he was in
but-
control of it, he wouldn't give to us. Because we're stupid and we're terrible.
No, because we look at what the good we've done with it.
I know, but I'm just saying if he was in complete control of it through us, that's not possible. We're not robots.
What are you talking about? He's
we're
made a path.
We're gonna go off.
Yeah, I know. He's made a path. He's shown the pathway, and he's shown us the future of what's to happen, so that it's not a big surprise kind of concept.
Right. Again, though, with the translation differences between
you got to stop
King
on that.
James,
You got to
New King James, ESV, NIV.
It's a 0.5%
NASB.
over all the time frame. It's only a 0.5%.
Control means something different.
Here's
control
the thing.
means
We just talked about it. Diocletian, he destroyed everything.
Right.
And it's still here today, and it was still being passed out. Every 100 years, they had a new translation of it. Every 100 years, no other book has ever had that. It was, it's followed in massive detail.
I'm not saying it's not accurate. I'm not saying it's not true. I believe the Bible's 100% true. I just don't see the control from God that you see.
I see his hand is on it, and it's what he wants.
Sure. Inspiration, protection, all that stuff, but not control. I don't see control.
You don't see the importance that in Genesis where they started with light.
I didn't say I didn't see importance in it either. I definitely see the importance of the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also see importance in the other books too that we don't have in our Bible.
And again, like I said, my thing is I'm in the mindset of I'm leaning a little bit towards that mindset of what you're saying. That if you're a solid, you're solid in your faith, and you're a meat eating Christian.
Yeah.
You can look at other books and decide for yourself. Yeah. I'm going to start reading the Quran here pretty soon because I want to be able to.
God is boring.
It's so boring. And it's just nothing but hate. It's just hours.
Well,
of hate.
It starts out peace, love, and make peace because his war band was really small.
Yes.
And he's getting the crap kicked out of him everywhere he went.
Yes.
And then as he grew in power, all of a sudden his Quran got very violent. You can see it's like, oh, this is when he started getting stronger.
He's like, He started following the Jews around, and he's like, they're onto something, But yeah, I'm okay with that in the mindset of it, but I don't think that it's necessary. I don't think that we need it, and it adds to anything.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you like one thing, and then it'll kind of help where I'm coming from as far as the knowledge. So we were talking about sorcery. Like, do we think sorcery is real?
I think there's an error to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So in these books, mostly, I guess this information comes mostly from Enoch, but a little bit from Jasher as well. Or not Jasher. Jubilees. Jubilees is a jubilee is the 7th year. So from the very beginning of time, every 7th year is a jubilee year. So the book's called the Jubilees because the book's all about stories from the 7th year.
Yeah.
So it's not consecutive like 1 through 7, and then to the next 14. It's like here's a story from the 7th year, here's a story from the 14th year, and so on and so forth. And so it's kind of chopped up, but it gives you more information that's not in just. Anyways, I say that to say this. In Enoch, when he is a scribe for God and he's conversing between the angels and all that, it says the watchers were the stars, and they had different duties, and there's like a bunch of them, and a group of them decided to come down and make a covenant with each other to interfere with the mankind, which they were expressly forbidden to do so. Okay. So these 20 angels, which it lists, I think it's 20. I'm going to butcher this, so please,
go ahead.
Read if you really want to know. You can read Enoch for yourself.
I'll look up something.
These 20 angels, which it names them by name, each one, they made a covenant themselves, saying, "Hey, we all want to do this, but one of us is going to start doing it, and then the others are going to bail." So they all made a covenant with each other, so they would all interfere with humans in the way that they wanted to because they saw the girls were starting to get attractive and they wanted to make offspring. Some of them didn't have a care to make offspring. Some of them just wanted to give humans knowledge that they didn't have. And so some of the grievances that God had against them, one, this angel taught women alchemy with different herbs from trees and how to make spells and potions that would sway the minds of men and curse people and heal people and things like that. Another angel taught men how to mine metal and then turn it into weapons. Taught them how to make a sword, an axe, clubs, that kind of thing. And they had no knowledge of that before. They never even thought about killing each other with weapons. After he taught them that, they started making war with each other. These tribes would go after each other. Another angel decided to try to make chimera offspring. He mixed the blood. It basically says the life of animals and life of men together.
So these are the fallen angels.
Yeah, these are the fallen angels, yeah. And no, see, that's where it gets... These are not the fallen angels. These are not Satan's crew. These are the watchers of men. It says the sons of God, so the daughters of men took for many of themselves as they wanted, and they had offspring, giants of old, men of renown, called Nephilim.
Okay.
These are those guys. These are not Satan or his crew. Completely different. Before Satan's, I guess it would be after after the temptation of Eve in the garden and all that stuff. So after men have fallen and they're out in there, before the flood of the earth, Enoch's time, basically.
Before the flood would be.
Yeah, before the flood. So in between, somewhere around Methuselah's time period is when this is all happening. One of them taught them how to read and write, how to make language, turn their language into writing, things like that. So God gets mad at them, and he puts them at the bottom of the Euphrates River in a giant pit.
Yeah.
And he puts a heavy stone on top of them to hold them until Judgment Day, when he's going to cast them into the lake of fire. Enoch talks to the angels down there in that pit, and they beg him to go plead their case for forgiveness to the Father. Tell him, we're sorry, blah, blah, blah. He goes back to the Father, and the Father says, you go back, you tell them this message I want to give you, and then don't ever talk to them again. And the message he gives them, so Enoch, an angel picks up Enoch, takes him down to this pit and talks to these angels. And God tells him this. He goes, one of the things he says is, you taught men, you are eternal, they're not eternal. That's why they have offspring, and that's why you don't. You were not meant to make offspring. Your offspring are vile. They're cannibalistic. They're giants. They make war, blah, blah, blah. The other thing I have against you is you taught them the secrets that they weren't meant to know. And he said, and the secrets you taught them, and they are literally refuse. They're refuse compared to the secrets that I had in store to teach them. So, alchemy, sorcery, the written language, making weapons of war, all those secrets that these angels taught them, God said the knowledge that he was going to impart on us, those angels themselves didn't know. He says the secrets that I was going to impart on them, you don't even know. And the things you taught them are complete garbage compared to what I was going to teach them. Which is, when you go back to the Garden of Eden, it talks about the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And God said, after God looked at everything he made, he said it was good. And then he tells man, don't eat from that tree. Don't even touch it. Don't eat it unless you die. It meant that the tree of knowledge of good and evil is a good tree, is a good creation. But they weren't ready for it. There was going to be a time when God was going to share with Adam and Eve the knowledge of good and evil. He was going to prepare them. He was going to teach them things that we still to this day don't know. Mm-hmm. And God said, because, he's talking to these angels again, he says, because you have taught them these things, I can't teach them what I was going to teach them. It would devastate them. There'd be no man left. So it's things like that. That knowledge has nothing to do with whether or not we believe that Jesus Christ died for our sins.
Right.
Has no bearing on our salvation. But it gives you a little glimpse into what we missed out on. And how great the Father really is, that he has secrets prepared for us, his creation, that his watchers didn't even know. And their job was to watch over us.
Well, he said, when they get together, they'll be able to do anything.
Yeah.
There's that whole idea.
Nothing will be denied
them. Is there any part of these books that you're referring to that state this was inspired by the Lord? Like when the Bible states, so and so written by the Lord.
Well, Enoch is for sure, because Enoch says, "I'm Enoch. I'm the scribe of God."
But see, they know he didn't write it.
How?
They know that he didn't write it because it came out after he was dead.
Right, but why?
So what they did was they wrote a book.
We don't know who wrote any of the Bible. We don't have any evidence.
No. The book of Enoch was written And then they said, okay, in order to basically what the concept was is in order to help sell this, we're going to put Enoch's name on it because he was huge and popular, and we're going to make it his book. They know that based on the way it's written and the way it reads and whatnot. Now, that's something that you'll have to look into on your own, because that's what I've gained from just digging and seeing and looking into it, because it came out way after his death.
Well, it's in the Septuagint, which was the direct translation from Hebrew to Greek.
You're going to have to dig and
back
see,
in 300 BC.
Yeah.
So I know they had it in 300 BC.
That might be around the time frame. I don't, like I say, I'm not smart enough on that. You know, I'm not going to be able to back that up or anything.
But it's just the fact that the matter is half of Genesis we don't know who wrote.
Okay, so the Book
Kings,
of Watchers
some
was,
Numbers.
The Book of Watchers was the 4th to 3rd century. The Book of Heavenly Luminaries was 3rd century BCE. These are BCE. The Book of Dream Visions that was composed during the Maccabean Revolt in 165 to 160 BCE. The Parables of Enoch, that is a later edition, possibly 1st century BCE. And the Book of Exhortations, also influenced by the Dead Sea Scrolls, showing parallels to Jesus' teachings. Mm-hmm. That's the chapters 91 through 107. That's the last part of, well, I don't know what the Book of Exhortations is part of. These are the 5 books. Remember, I thought that Enoch had 5 books in it. That's why it's these 5 books that they're talking about.
Yeah, I know it's like 2 books or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Enoch is chapters 37 through 71. It's actually the largest part, it looks like. Exhortations is about almost 40 verses.
I mean, heck, we don't even know who wrote the Book of Hebrews.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
books. But why do we have
know.
it, though? Why do we study
because
it?
they were able to verify that was...
We can't verify who wrote it.
It doesn't matter. They were able. There's a lot of scripture we don't know who wrote.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's why they were able to say, okay, we're finding it here, here, and here, and here, and here. I mean, 5 check marks is a lot to go through to verify something. It's huge. My main thing with the Book of Enoch is it's not important for what's about to happen, for what's coming.
Anything that somebody doesn't want you to read is important.
I don't think anybody's like against it. They're just saying this isn't necessary.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's spiritually inspired. I don't know if it was inspired by the Lord. I'd have to look and see.
It's not supposed to be spiritual. It's supposed to be what one man saw.
So then that would be
testimony.
That would be a big.
It's just like Ezekiel's prophecies. They're not inspired. He's writing down what he saw.
He'll tell you. Well, yeah, but he's going to say.
Same as Book of Revelation. He's writing down
John
what he
says,
saw.
God showed me this.
Showed me, yeah. It's not inspired. It's not
that
like
is inspired. That's the inspiration they're talking about, though.
The book
that's
of,
what they're saying.
The book of like Corinthians, Ephesians, Galatians, those are inspired letters.
You're talking, okay, so.
Those are inspirations. The Gospels are what happened. I see what you're saying. They're testimony. This is what happened, especially in the book of Luke and the book of Acts.
But again, if you look at the book of Revelations, this is what happened, because this is what
right.
The
it's
Lord
not an inspiration. It's a revelation.
This is what the Lord showed me.
Right.
It's spiritually
That's not inspired. That's not inspired. That's a revelation.
He had a massive vision, so to speak, pulled
he
out
saw
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, not inspired.
God was with him. Jesus is talking to him.
The book of Psalms, inspiration. You see what I'm saying? Book of Psalms is inspiration. The book of Proverbs is a teaching of inspiration.
So when a preacher
book of Daniel, fact, testimony.
When a preacher
this happened.
Gets a situation, let's say like you're talking about Titus or Timothy or something. Mm-hmm. A church, there was a problem within the church.
Yeah.
Okay. You think he just wrote what was in his head? He didn't pray over it? Say, Lord,
no, I
how do we
believe the
handle
Holy
this?
Spirit inspired him to write what he wrote.
Then why are we having this conversation?
Because you're taking testimony and mixing it with inspiration, and it's not. I see a car accident, and I describe to you exactly what I saw. That is testimony, right? That's not inspiration. I was not inspired by the Holy Spirit to tell you the details that I saw or anything. I saw this. This is what happened. Blah, 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 blah. I write down that's testimony.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
Enoch,
so you're talking about like
testimony.
when Matthew followed or Luke followed, yeah.
Yeah, it's not inspiration. They are inspired to do it, maybe. I believe Luke was actually paid to do it. he had a conscriptor. He was like, "Hey, excellent Theonidas, I have interviewed everybody and I've put an orderly account to the things of Jesus, so you would know what is true." So Luke wasn't a Jew.
So is there a scripture in there that God is just like, I had no hand in that, but it looks good? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I'm so confused by this conversation because I feel like we're not talking about any same topic.
Said that you don't believe that Enoch was inspired by God, and
I asked if he was. I said,
you said I don't believe. Is there
scripture in there that states, because I don't know, I've never read it. I said, is there scripture that states?
Yeah, but what you said is, I don't believe that Enoch was inspired by God. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
I don't believe it was backed up to the point of it. But again, I've never touched it or read it. I don't know. So I'm asking, that was the thing. Is there any scripture in there, any verse in there that says, this was something that the Lord told me to write down, basically?
Yes. Yeah. That's all through Enoch. Is the Lord told me to write this. The angel told me this. I brought it to the Lord, and the Lord told me this, and blah, blah, blah. And then after he was done with all, he went to his father, he went to his son, Methuselah, and gave him all that knowledge.
Who did?
Enoch.
He was already dead when this was wrote.
Enoch never died.
You got to look into that. I'm sorry, gone. I keep saying dead. Yeah, you got to look into that and see if I'm accurate in that area, because my understanding was it was written way after he was gone.
Okay, so I would not say that it was written way after he was gone. I would say the oldest copy we have is not very old. How about that?
Okay.
Because
I don't know enough about that.
They kept getting destroyed.
That I care about, so I don't know.
Yeah, they kept getting destroyed. Like there was, the fight to even get the whole scroll of Isaiah through without it being ripped apart from the time that Jesus was on. Because once Jesus came around, all that, they're like, Isaiah 93 is like verbatim what happened to Jesus. After that, they wanted to cut it all out.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
So
yeah,
Enoch goes against their oral tradition. So you have the Torah, which is the written tradition.
Because it was written down?
No. So when Moses went to the mountain,
right,
and God gives him not just the 10 Commandments, but the whole Torah, all the law, Levitical law. You have Deuteronomy and Leviticus. So the Levites, this is what they have to do. That was not inspired. Moses didn't come up with that on his own. God told me God verbally told him, this is what they are going to do. This is how they're going to dress. This is how they should wash. It's and tell them to do this and this. And if they don't do it right, I want to kill them. Right? If they go into the holiest of holies and they're not purified, they will die. This is all dictated to Moses by God.
Somewhere down the road here, my brain is not catching the lingo you're using, and I think that's
probably
that's where my brain is stopping it.
So when Proverbs. Let's go back to Proverbs. When Solomon is right. Yeah, Solomon.
The first part of it, I think.
Yeah, when Solomon's writing Proverbs, he's like, here are some wise teachings to my son.
Yeah.
Do this, do this, do this, and all would be melded for you. Right?
Okay.
Solomon also wrote Ecclesiastes. And he says, in my youth, I would think, if you train your son in the way he should go, he'll never depart from the Lord's word. I find that to be vapor. Life is vapor.
That's right.
Life is vanity. And when he comes to in the conclusion, Ecclesiastes, the only thing that matters is your family and having a meal together. That's it. So the same king who's inspired to write Proverbs and all the right ways you should go, later on in life is inspired to write that all of that crap doesn't matter.
I need to look into that again. I've heard
same
something
dude
similar to that, but I don't remember anything about it.
And I'm an Ecclesiastes kind of a Christian. I find life completely meaningless. And I really didn't understand why I woke up every day and took a breath until I had children.
Weird.
And now I have a responsibility that I have to wake up for.
I don't know if you can say that with that big Lego wall behind you, Come on. There's Overwatch Lego even, dude.
I have been slightly suicidal since the day I was born. I have never wanted to live. I've never cared to live. You get these people who they'll hike up a huge mountain and oh man, look at that beautiful view. I'm like, I could give a crap less.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care.
I've done that.
I don't even remember
many a day
what they look like. I don't care.
All the mountains in Yosemite and Sequoia areas, and when you go up and see those monster trees that are the size of Eiffel Tower building kind of things or something, you're just like, yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Sunrises on a mountain. We'd climb up
Yeah.
to an area, sleep, and get up real early, and then finish the climb and get to the top of it, and just watch it come out. And it's cool because you're just looking for what you think is miles. I mean, it could be, and it just starts to light up. Things like that. Oceans, same way.
Don't care. Doesn't.
I mean, it's not like I go hunting for it, like looking out for it. But when I'm there, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, there was parts of Alaska.
For me, it's the climb. I'm gonna get to the top.
I mean, you never stopped at the Northern Lights, and I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." 'Cause, I mean, we'd
I
stop
thought
our car and turn everything off, and
yeah, for
until
sure.
it get too cold, and you have to turn the car back on.
Yeah, but I never cared. Like I still if the Northern Lights disappeared and never came back to the Earth, I wouldn't.
Oh, I wouldn't care about that either.
See, some people would. Some people freak out.
Yeah, but they have nothing to hold on to. This world's gone in my mind.
Exactly. That's a very rare mental stand.
Oh, okay. I'm
very rare. Most people find joy in life, and I don't understand those people.
I
find joy in small moments like orgasms.
See, I would find joy in seeing
eating good food is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
but
again, eating good food with people that you can socialize with is a great time too.
How many people do you know that you actually want to go eat with? Me and you do not have a lot of close friends.
That's it,
or any.
Well, I can't say that because I do love the girls that I work with. But I don't, I would get invited to parties and I'm like, I'm not really that guy, But mostly because I'm like, why am I going to hang out with a bunch of married women, They're fun. They're I see you every day. I don't want to, that kind of thing.
If you want me to hang out
with you,
you have to pay me.
I don't want to know more about you. Trust me. I just don't.
Yeah,
But again, so the main thing with that is then you need to find what God had planned for you on this earth. Maybe that's what it is. When I worked in film,
I think he really enjoys watching me struggle. I think it's like a sense of humor for him. You want to see something funny?
As long as
I'm going to give him something called hope, and then you're going to watch me take it away.
Like I say, when I worked in film, I had a blast. It was fun, and I thought, okay, I could do this. This is something that I could handle. Something like, we could turn that off if we need to.
No, that's good.
This is something that I can, that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I was writing like crazy. I was trying to get into the writers, the writers' room. Basically, I was trying to get up in there and work with them. And but those openings, they're coveted. They don't, you're indoors in air conditioning and you work stupid hours. Yeah. Those guys never sleep. They basically bring their pajamas to work, sleep on a couch because they know that 2 hours are going to wake up and have to do rewrites. That's the life. It's a miserable life. But that was kind of what I was like, yeah, I think I could do this. And it was long, long hours. It was little pay because of where you lived. One of my jobs was a 90-minute drive one way every day, 5 days a week. And I had to be there at 6:30 in the morning. So you were leaving at 4 o'clock in the morning just to get there in time, which was nice because it was LA, 5 lanes of traffic. But at that time of day, there was no traffic. But I would leave. Remember, I would call you up on the phone to not fall asleep.
Yeah.
And you'd be playing WoW or something just to, I remember you laughing at to this day, I remember.
I logged into your account, I think.
I said log into my account and play my mage in PvP. And that was during Classic. And it was the Palm Pyro era. It might have been BC, actually. At that time, because it was before the writer's strike.
It was vanilla. It was vanilla. Wow. It wasn't.
And every 5 minutes that would come off cooldown while I'm driving, you just start laughing, and it would wake me back up. And I remember people telling me you can't fall asleep drinking water. And so what we do, we have these big water bottles, and we would just tilt them and slowly drink them the whole way home. It was an hour and a half of just treacherous driving, trying not to.
I do sunflower seeds.
Do you?
I drive all the time, and I fall asleep at the wheel real easy.
Oh, wow.
I hate driving.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's the most boring thing on the planet you could do is drive.
I mean...
It's boring. Some people love it. They're like, it's like a meditative state. You're sick.
We drove, in Alaska, anywhere you went, you drove.
No, it's 4 hours to get to anything cool.
Anything fun was, out there. Well, and again, too, when I was in California, we were an hour and a half to 2 hours from everything. We were centralized. So if we wanted to go to San Diego, if we wanted to go to... Yosemite, Santa Cruz, Santa Monica, Santa Cruz, or San Francisco, not San Diego, San Francisco. We knew we'd plan it and shoom, take off, then come back and go to work. We'd get off work, take the trip, spend the whole day down in San Francisco, and then we'd get in the car, come back, go right back to work, that kind of thing. And that was always kind of fun. I think for me, finding what I was supposed to do occurred, but I missed it. That's all I can think of. Because
hindsight's 2020.
Well, no, not even that. Like when I worked in film, it was the only thing that I wanted to, and then I had given it all up. And it's like, hey, I'll go where you want me to go. Because I thought I was going to be in India pulling kids out of brothels, the Philippines. That's where I was going. Yeah. But then I was like, oh, okay, this film thing is here, which I was, because like I said, I was writing nonstop. I started writing screenplays when I was in the 7th grade. It was like all 18 pages of it. It was like the most horrific thing because I didn't know what they were or anything about them. I just had the stories in my head and I had to get them. So I remember the old clunky typewriter that she had, and that clunk, 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 And
God, they still had that thing when I moved them out too.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't worth anything much. It was a good one when it was in its prime. Though.
I mean, one day it might be because freaking solar flare or some crap like that.
That's true. You can still get ribbons.
Oh no, it was an electric one, so yeah, it wouldn't work anyway.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because they had the autocorrect option to it and all.
Yeah,
but so I was like, okay, this could pay for that. Maybe I'll just do this or something and fund people. I don't know. And then the writer's strike hit and just dropped everything. I was like, oh, now I'm like looking at welfare or something. Like, what do I do here? And that was when I ended up back up in Alaska, and it just went downhill from there, basically. In my mindset, it did. But I just feel like there was an era where I had missed the mark, and I remember this preacher saying, if you've got this thing that God's wanting you to do, you're not waiting. You shouldn't be waiting around for him to open a door for you. You need to go find that door and find out how you can open it.
Start knocking.
And say, hey, okay, Lord, is this it? Is this, because he wants you sitting around. Yeah. And so that's what I did.
That's what our grandfather did. Sat around. He had a vision from the Lord to do something.
He had so many awesome stories. And he just sat, yeah. He died, so he was an awesome. He was. I mean, that was an awesome man of God. I didn't know a thing about him, but he died the way he lived.
He smelled funny.
Well, he was a big boy.
He was a big boy.
He was eating a lot of them fried foods all the day.
Take away my bacon, you might as well kill me. I was like, you keep eating that bacon, you're gonna die.
Yeah, Mom got just a notion to go and see him. She's like, I'm gonna go see him, and Dad was like, they're up last time. Dad was like, yeah, go for it. Take off, and take all the time you want.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did.
So she flew down to go see him, and she had moved him out of that nasty old rankety garbage house.
So that was when her mom died.
And put him. Yeah, this is previously. She had moved him out of there, so he was doing a lot better. He's at a more environmentally sustainable and happy place. It wasn't this dark, gloomy, nasty spider web increased.
Oh, I hated that
place was so bad. It was a horrible situation. The government took the front yard of all the houses there and built a road on it, and then just told everybody, hey,
had a really much higher elevation, and all the water would pour into their house when it rained.
That's it. Yeah, it was an awful situation, and of course they just screwed their own people over. Yay, California! She went down to see him, and every morning he would sit on his couch, Bible open in his lap, cup of coffee next to him or in his hand kind of concept, and his writing marker pencils in his hand. And that was how she found him. He died the way he lived, basically. And they go see him every morning. And, but again, I think he could have been so much stronger. His body was pretty tore up.
He had visions of doing things for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And he never did any of them. Never got off the couch to go do them. But at the same time, he took care of everybody in the family.
Everybody.
They
drained him.
Every loser, cousin, drug addict, thief, what have you. He had a heart for all of them. He didn't care.
Yeah.
And literally, the cliche, give his shirt off his back to anybody, that's to him.
Yeah. I had a client that way once too.
Yeah. He'd just have a random stranger sleeping on his couch if you weren't careful.
Yeah. It would be like, all right, you need a place to stay.
Yeah.
Okay, And they used to torture him too. I know they used to he would sleep heavily. Like the guy was a rafter.
Like a freight train.
He was a rafter shaker. I think I am the same way. He and they used to put like makeup and do his hair and stuff on him while he was asleep. He'd wake up and not know he was looking like a girl, and the girls used to torture. He raised 4 daughters. They used to torture him.
Yeah.
But he he had a lot of dreams. Many times he'd say an angel of the Lord came and talked to me about this, and I never really doubted him in any way. But
he'd watch TV preachers
Oh, those
all day,
Those
every
guys.
day.
I did not know that.
Oh gosh. He goes, you don't. I was like, because even I only met him one time in California, and that was when I was 16. And at that time, I had a pretty good head about televangelists. You know?
Yeah.
And he's watching them, and I'm like, I say, Grandpa, you got to stop watching this crap. He goes, what's wrong with preaching? I'm like, these aren't preachers. These are false prophets. It's like, you got to stop watching these guys. He goes, oh, no, they're preaching the word of God. I'm like, no, they're twisting the word of God to get money out of you.
They might be preaching the word of God, but they're sure going to, they're going to find a way to get that.
That prosperity gospel.
My boss, I had a boss in Japan who, beautiful voice, and she sang for a church choir who was asked to sing for a Benny Hinn show.
Mm.
And she was a big fan. Of course, a lot of people were, she was an older lady.
Yeah.
And so they were in a hotel, and the top floor, or one of the top floors of the hotel where he was at was closed off. They had security there, and they had shut it off or all that. She found a way to finagle her way up there and, being a part of the choir and whatnot. And she said, I was so excited that maybe I could just catch a glimpse of Benny and just shake his hand or just say hi to him and tell him what he meant to me, that kind of thing. And I walked around the corner of this hotel hallway, and it was just lined with crutches and calves and wheelchair casts, like leg casts and arm casts, and wheelchairs and crutches were just
props.
Just a whole line. It was just they had actors,
movie props
that they paid to pretend to be sick and jump up and around. And she said, my whole world shrank. And I told her, I was like, you can never put your faith in man, ever. You can rely on a man if you need your tire changed, if you need something here, that's fine. But you cannot put your faith in man. And she was so shook. And I thought she was, a pretty strong Christian at the time, but I didn't know. I mean, I just, I don't have conversations with the people at work. I'm not looking to get to know you per se. I'm looking to work. Yeah. I need to get, it's a guy thing, But she goes, Adam, I called my psychic last night and they told me this. And I was like, oh, Jesus. And
what do you think that is?
I kept that whole story to myself. Somebody looking for hope. Somebody looking for...
What, is it like a lack of education?
This is an educated person, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is this?
Because here's the thing.
She's not a rare case.
No. This is a book-educated person. Doesn't mean it's a spiritually educated person.
Okay, well, yeah, but the Bible's a book. You ever read it?
No.
No. So I'm saying, like, does she ever not read it?
I can't answer that, and I'm assuming no because of the two situations that were there.
I get so tired of people saying that the Bible's too. I can't understand. It's too complicated. And it's like, how is that possible? They had this thing called the Message Bible, which is completely terrible. Don't ever read
garbage.
it.
Absolute garbage.
It is like elementary school Bible. There's no excuse.
Get the kids' picture book one. At least you'll get something out of that.
So I got my kids a New Living Translation because that is as dumbed down as you can get without it becoming blasphemous.
Okay.
It's New Living Translation. It's current English, basically. They take the NIV, which is, so you have a verse for people who don't know, a direct translation like the NSAB and somewhat the ESV. They take the actual literal words, translate them into the closest English word, and then you read that. It's a good Hebrew translation and Greek translation, Aramaic translation, but it's a really bad English format. It's not good English, but it's a good translation. And then you have books like, you have Bibles like the NIV, which is not going for a direct translation. It's taking that biblical verse and translating it into what it means. So you get the meaning translated. And so it's not a very good direct translation, but it has really good English. It's easy to read. Well, the NLT takes that NIV and makes it even easier to read. So it's like very kid-friendly.
Okay.
So if you got a kid, or if you have someone who's brand new to Christianity who doesn't have like a college level education, you can give them the New Living Translation Bible. They can read it, understand it, and it's not like blasphemous like the Message Bible is.
We're going back to PBD here. I want to show you this.
What's that?
See what you think. That's Valuetainment. I love Pat. He's one of my favorites. PBD podcast. He is a financial guru type. He started out like selling life insurance, and now he's into everything. He's very exceedingly wealthy, but He's a solid man. He's a Syrian, I want to say, immigrant that moved. His family ran to Germany, and then they came to the States when he was like teenager thing.
Okay.
And he just made a he knew how to be smart about stuff.
That you're a Christian, right? Say that you're a Christian. I want you to listen to me good.
What's your opinion?
You say you're a Christian, but you're gay. But you're gay.
That's a kid, right?
It's a
You
kid.
married a woman, you married a man, but you say you're a Christian. Wait a minute, now that don't add up. I mean, go read Leviticus 18 and 22 and see what it says. Go read Romans 1, 26 through 27 and see what it says. Be careful who you let in the chamber of your marriage.
So somebody thought it'd be a good idea to have that little kid
That kid's voice is grating.
educate. Oh God, this is I was watching this thinking, who's the idiot that did this kind of thing? Because
You know you're gonna have a hard time editing all this.
this kid,
We've been
is
jumping
gonna
around like
destroy
crazy.
it. I'm just gonna let it run. This is
Okay.
gonna be a non-timer episode. I don't
Yeah.
even care anymore. All the stuff that I had to talk about, I had set up even, and I haven't touched. We haven't even talked about the AI thing. We can stop this and do that. It's 8:00. I didn't know how late you wanted to go.
I like where
with
this
it,
is
so.
going. I might as well just keep going.
Yeah.
So what about this kid?
This kid is allowed to sit there and preach on marriage. At 9 years old, kind of thing. I mean, like I was just like, you're really setting this kid up to think that he's a lot more than he ever could be, and he's going to get the living bejeebers beat out of him.
There's a chance for that happening. Yeah. There's
Yeah,
a chance that
'cause-
he'll get arrogant.
Like, you could hear it in his voice already. Like he's just kind of like,
Yeah.
"Who are you listening to, little dude?" But
But what I mean,
he's not reading the same translation you were just talking about. And that's what came in my head. I was like, I wonder what this kid's reading. Probably King James or something, old school.
well, it's kind of funny. I listened to a pastor he's a TikTok pastor, and he's open about how he's a TikTok pastor. He has a very small church in Florida. Another one of those, he kind of has a grating voice, but he's a good teacher, and he just teaches right out of the Bible. This is what the Bible says, and this is what it means, kind of a preacher. And he goes, he's like, he said, people come to me all the time and say, well, what about homosexuals? And he said, you know what? And I cannot give you a human opinion about homosexuality. He said, because what do I know?
yeah.
And how is what I believe any different than any more powerful than what you believe? He said, but I know what God says, and God says to kill you. God
That's
says, if I find you,
Get rid of it.
he said, you take him out and you stone him. He said, and there's a reason, because that ideology spreads like a plague, and then it gets worse.
Oh, they were raping people like crazy. They were out of control, and that was
If you look at America, because that's where we live, and in the last 50 years that we've been, watching it unfold, everything the disintegration of morality in any culture starts with greed. Somebody can't get enough,
Yeah.
and they want more and more. So you get like corporate greed, and then you get like government greed, and that kind of thing. It starts with greed, and then it really takes a turning point when it hits homosexual. Cultures will turn to homosexuality because the things that were giving them pleasure no longer give them pleasure, and so then they go to a more taboo thing.
yeah.
And then they go
That's
to a more
it.
taboo thing. And the same thing happens like for somebody who first gets into pornography.
Yeah.
You start out with the Playboys, and then you end up with like some kind of rough BDSM gangbang stuff in a dungeon somewhere. And you don't even know how you got there, really. You're
That's
like,
that's the thing. Like
it's just it just
there's darker
develops.
even, yeah.
So homosexuality is one of those things that's a gateway to pedophilia
Yes.
and transgenderism. And so when God's like, you let this into your tribe, it will decimate them.
yeah.
So
just
if you
the
find a
covenant
man
is completely shattered.
laying with another man as if he's a woman, you stone him.
Yeah.
Don't let it develop.
Yes.
So as a human Christian, I don't have a say or an opinion on homosexuality
Correct.
because I don't live my life based on my opinions.
Yeah. What do I know?
But I know what God says.
Yeah.
So
And I also know what I have seen, and like I said, God has placed a place in my heart for homosexuals long time ago. And I had a professor. I have a psychology degree, and I had a professor who worked. Guy was a genius. I don't know if I've shared this or not. He was former Navy, opened up a psychological practice when he got out, and it was like the third largest in the nation. I know at least was in Texas area, but he was asked to work on a team during the time when AIDS was coming about, and they had put together a massive medical team of just experts in their fields to do whatever their area was. And they asked him to map out how AIDS affects and deteriorates the brain. They wanted to know what it was doing to people psychologically and how it was doing them. He was the only straight person on the entire project.
Really?
It was like he said I had never experienced that in my life.
Yeah.
He said I didn't even know that was a thing at this time. Like yeah, you might hear of homosexuals here or there, and he was the one who had kind of changed my mindset on it, even though I didn't really know again too. I knew it was against God's covenant, but I didn't have an understanding on it. He said it's a perversion that he said, it's just, and it is, because to get somebody to do that, to get somebody to the point to where they will, like you said, we're talking about pornography. They found a place it was in South America that Americans had paid for these two guys, or they had paid these people to rape and murder a mother and kill the infant brutally in front of the two siblings that were younger siblings, so they could. Then they sold the two kids basically to these two Americans. To get a human being to that point,
Yeah.
to where you're willing to pay for that, knowing what you're paying for, and you've requested it or accepted or demanded it or whatever, that is a massive perversion. You're starting small, like it's nothing big.
Yeah.
But then before you know it, like we were talking earlier about, I'm using everybody's YouTube stuff today. You're just going to have to put up with me. Because this was something that I felt like I've never said these words in my life, but I think Brett Cooper's a little too quiet on this. I don't think Brett's ever been quiet. This is a thing that Brett had brought up. Grok is generating about one non-consensual sexualized image per minute. So what it is doing, I'm going to play just a second here.
Well, sexualized image per minute. So now to give you a bit more context, all of this is thanks to Grok's new AI tool that was rolled out in December. And this new tool is where users can comment under any photo that is posted on X and say, hey Grok, change something about this photo. And I think that things like add sunglasses to this, or add a funny meme image, or remove people from the background, I think that that was the intention in rolling out this feature. But now, less than a month later, the requests are very different. They're sinister, I would say. These are just a few examples of the things that are going around. Grok, make her in a micro-transparent bikini, face untouched realistic, and Ultra 8K. Grok, put her in a micro bikini made from dental floss. Grok, put her in a G-string and make her bend over. Hey, Grok, put her in a thong and change nothing else. This one is just insane. Grok, cover her with white donut glaze and put her in a bikini with a massive sausage in her mouth.
Oh my.
Another one said, Grok, put her in a tiny black bikini. Grok, give her a thin transparent bikini and make her bend over with ass facing the camera. Edit this image to reduce the amount of fabric and replace it with underwear. Grok, show her covered in donut glaze and wearing a towel. Grok, replace her clothes with clear plastic wrap. Grok, put her in a string bikini and show P. Diddy covering her in baby oil.
Oh, sweet Lord.
I don't know if you guys have a headache from hearing all of that, but
Yeah.
And when I saw this had just popped up on my feed, and I was painting my little dudes or whatever, and I was like, wait, what? And I had to go back and rewind that and play it back. Grok's a good intention was used in the sickest way, because perversion is there and exists. It's going to grow. But one problem I have with Elon is he is okay with porn. And I don't know if it's because he likes it or if it's because he knows it makes money. But when everybody begged him to get it off of
X,
I think he knew, hey, there's money in it. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe free speech kind of stuff, wherever I don't know. But his own tool that he isn't wanting to work that way.
Are you sure he's okay with? Did he openly say he's okay with pornography?
No, I think he didn't get rid of it. And the question was why? Because that was what everybody when he took it over. There was a huge.
So it could have just been a free speech expression type of thing for him. Ideology.
Yeah, I misspoke.
Because,
I should. Yeah.
See, I come to terms with this too, because let's say that I had the ability to make the rules for us in America, or even the world, even. Do I make rules based on human freedom, or do I make rules based on God's morality?
You make rules based on the way God would make them. Freedom to choose.
Freedom to choose. Okay.
Here's what we like government wise. You don't have to follow that. I think that's what I would to teach people. Here's the better mindset.
I think pornography should be outlawed, but I also believe that there shouldn't be any laws against prostitution. If a person can take off their clothes and go into a Speedo and flex their muscles and get paid for it, win prizes, bodybuilders is what I'm saying. They can remove all their clothes, show off what they got, and make money. That's their body. They have the right to do that. If a man or a woman has a body and they want to make money on it by having sex with people, I believe it's their freedom, their right to do so. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's the correct way to do things.
Very interesting.
But it's their freedom. Pornography, on the other hand, is having sex for money that anybody can watch.
It's prostitution. Yeah.
So if you take somebody, and I use it from a man's perspective, because obviously I'm a dude. If I was hideously ugly, right? I had buck teeth.
There's blind women
patchy
would
hair,
marry you. Come on now.
And I smell bad. Whatever.
You got to fix that one thing. Come on.
You're still just as sexually driven as any other man, but you can't get known because a woman looks at you and like, ha, unless you got deep pockets, this ain't going to happen, darling. Men like that need to pay somebody to have sex with them. Right. That's where kind of prostitution
but again,
has its key in. It's like you'll never run out of clientele because there's a lot of freaking ugly people out there. But at the same time,
on a tangent right now.
Sometimes pornography erodes somebody's mental state.
Yeah.
Right. The dopamine over response. Blah blah blah. Having sex doesn't. Right. Me having sex with my wife for 60 years that we're married isn't going to have any kind of mental degradation to me. Me watching other people, many other people having sex online, that has a mental degradation.
Are you limiting it to only unmarried personnel?
No, I'm saying that's why I think pornography should be outlawed and prostitution should not be outlawed. I don't think anything wrong really happens. The only with the exception, of course, you have pimping that you have to worry about.
Okay,
sexual disease. But people are having sex with each other like crazy right now. Off of Tinder and all these other freaking apps that they one night stands are at an all time high.
So you're
between men and women.
Raising kids in a neighborhood that has prostitutes laying out in the streets? I mean, think about it. The dudes eventually start looking over at baby girl, going,
Well,
in a couple of years, and she ain't gonna pay. Allow me to pay, so I'm gonna take.
I guess I just don't know why they would be laying out in the streets. Why are prostitutes laying out in the streets?
Oh, I mean, advertising out in the streets. That's where they advertise. They're out in the streets trying to get called, trying to get money.
Probably not as much today with the internet.
Okay, so when I was in Japan.
But because it's illegal, they probably do now because it's illegal. But if it was legal, they probably would have like brothels and crap, places to go.
So you're okay? Yeah, they would.
I'm guessing
they would have the hen house.
So the answer to no, I would not be okay with that, but I don't think that would actually exist if it was legal.
Well, it did. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was that's whether it still happens or not. That's the way I really always knew in the 90s, 80s.
And I'm not, like I said, I don't agree with prostitution. I just don't think somebody has the right to tell you that you can't. If somebody wants to pay me to,
I think it brings degradation to the city, to the environment. I think it brings
so does gambling
down. And, I'm not a big fan of gambling just because how stupid people can get with it.
I mean, it's just, but it's your money. I think you should be free to gamble it. I mean, it's not like you stole the money and decided to gamble it. You worked, you got the money.
Yeah, I mean,
it's your money to do with as you please.
In rare cases, the payroll goes into
right. I don't think a person should gamble. God even teaches against it, but at the same time, I would not make a law restricting it because I'm not a libertarian. Because I think libertarian policies are stupid.
They're dumb.
Because it allows people with the most money to get the most gain.
Yeah. There's a lot more to it that drives me nuts, yeah.
And their foreign policy is absolutely terrible.
Their foreign policy is the number one in garbage, yeah.
But I do agree with a lot of the freedom aspect of libertarian is what's mine is mine. I can do what I want with it.
And I want to lean on that mindset of it because like you said, you've got freedom to choose. You've got freedom to do whatnot. But I think it opens up a door for evil to just take over. And like you say, you've got pimps who are just beating women and taking all their money.
But they're doing that now that it's illegal.
Yeah, but either way, it would happen.
That's what I'm saying. So why not have it freedom? Why make something illegal that a woman has no control over? If she gets pimped out, it's not because she wants to be. It's because her life is threatened and she has no choice now. And now it's illegal, and so she gets busted. She goes to go to jail. The pimp doesn't. She does. And he gets her money.
Yeah.
You make it legal, they no longer get in trouble with the law, so now you have to worry about the pimp side of things. Well, if it's legal, she doesn't have to hide it. Right? She has actually more protection now. She can actually call a police officer and say, hey, this guy's trying to get me to be a pimp.
Okay,
He's trying to be a pimp on me.
California passed a law that cops can no longer question children that they believe are prostituting themselves on the streets. The cops can no longer talk to them. They can no longer speak to them. They can no longer do anything to them.
Okay, what's the confines of talking, though?
In other words, what they would do is...
They can still talk to them. They can't interrogate them.
What it is the kid can basically give them the finger, turn around and say, screw you, and walk away. And
but can the cop goes like, hey, how you doing? You all right? You good? And then they could do that.
Like I said, I don't know. The idea was they don't want to give these kids bad raps and have them arrested and blah, blah, blah.
So they can't interrogate them.
But they don't want to get them off the streets. Okay?
Right. Well, California does a lot of wicked things. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, California is Sodom and Gomorrah, yeah.
Yeah. And we're it's slowly spreading. It's like a virus. It just kind of spreads.
Well, it's because, like you say, we're allowing stupid people to... And I'm curious about... It has to degrade to the point of God's return. But it doesn't mean we have to sit and watch it happen, of course. And so why are we sitting and watching it happen? Why are we like that money issue in Minnesota, which I don't care to bring any of that stuff up, because nothing's going to happen of it.
Right.
Nothing. Well, please. You can talk all you want, please.
They'll have to find another way to I mean,
they're going to stop.
The money's going to dry up for a while, but they'll find another way to get it out there.
Yeah, it'll for the next couple of years while somebody's in it, but somebody will sue and say you
same
can't.
Thing while rich people don't pay taxes. They don't.
No,
because rich people are in debt. They're more in debt than anybody. They're rich through debt.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to pay taxes when you're in debt because he didn't make any money.
They know how to pay to get it back. They know what to pay off and do.
Right. They're rich in assets, not so much income. But like I said, evil is always going to find a way.
Correct.
But it would do us more good to outlaw pornography.
You have to look at
than
Amsterdam.
it would prostitution.
Yeah, you got to look at Amsterdam and see how it's working there because it's legal.
Yeah, but you won't know unless you actually live there. Because you could look things up online and we could listen to YouTube videos of people who live in Amsterdam. You're still getting one person's opinion. You really don't know what the lifestyle's like. It could work really well because of a lot of narcotics. Let's see which country. I could totally be wrong about this, but I think it's Denmark. They have a city for drug addicts. So if you are caught doing illicit drugs, after so many arrests, which I don't know what the number is, I think it's like 3 arrests, you're sentenced to life in this city. And all they do in the city is they just feed the city drugs. They actually deliver drugs to the city. And once a week they go in there and they clean out all the dead bodies at OD. And that's how they deal with the drug problem. Okay. Evil's going to exist. People are stupid and they have the right to be stupid. But stupid hurts. Right? There's a reason why stupid hurts, so you stop being stupid.
But the question is does the next generation see that and see a benefit behind it?
That's what I'd be curious to know. I'd like to know what the drug.
Does a 16-year-old girl grow up thinking, "Hey, I can make easy money. What do I care about my body? No big deal."
Exactly.
And so now you've got just dozens of kids who are growing up being prostituted, and then, of course, right now a big thing is body harvesting, organ harvesting.
Look at OnlyFans. A girl turned 18. And she, for 6 months, announced that she was going to do an OnlyFans as soon as she turned 18. She made $1 million faster than anybody else in OnlyFans history. Yeah. That's sick.
The girl that had the 24-hour spree with all those men apparently got saved.
No.
But I don't...
Really?
Nobody knows how accurate it is. Again, it's a I think it's like a...
She got arrested in India just a little while ago. You talking about Bonnie Blue?
I don't know her name.
I think it's Bonnie Blue is her name. She was the one that had that record where she had the most sex with men in one day. Yeah, Bonnie Blue. She got just arrested in India a little while ago because she tried to do the same thing. She wanted to have sex with 2,000 men in one day, and some place in India, and they arrested her. –
Ready for round 2. Let's see.
I don't think she got saved. Yeah, silence after Bali arrest.
Okay, let me find out what I was talking about. Because it was actually, I think it was even on PD.
Now there is a famous porn star that just got saved recently. She got tattoos and all that stuff around her, and she goes to church, and she was a very famous.
That Kat
porn
Von
star.
D.
I don't remember. I actually don't know her name.
She's all
I can't
black,
remember.
gothic. No, she's a singer.
No,
Yeah,
she's
a
not all
singer.
black or anything. She got tattooed, but they're like all over her body.
Let's see if I can find something on this. There was, let's see, let's do this. Like, I really just don't care about this stuff. Like, I don't. Oh, it's 101 day.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so she did
That's
Lily
so
Phillips.
gross. That's
so
gross.
101 day.
Yeah.
Reconnecting with God and strengthening a relationship she felt she had drifted over time.
You think?
You think so?
You felt you drifted over time.
So apparently, this Lily Phillips girl who did who slept with 100 men one day got saved. I hope so. Don't know. Don't know how to gauge.
You can see a turning point in American morality when they targeted so heavily to women to not be conservative anymore with their sexual life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As soon as women started treating sex like men, to where they just gave it out freely to anybody,
there was no off switch or barrier in humanity.
Everything got worse from there because men no longer are going to get married.
Yep.
Because they can get it for free.
Yep.
You're going to have pregnancies with no fathers.
Yep. So you tell the women that they
Higher
don't
rates
need
of
men.
Higher rates of abortion.
You can have an abortion. We'll take care of you. That's your right.
Sexually transmitted diseases go up.
Yep.
Depression goes way up. Suicide goes up.
Way up.
And I don't understand why nobody the mental health industry, like Jordan Peterson was kind of like a unique.
Yeah.
Where he was actually willing to call it out.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many very, very talented psychiatrists, psychoanalysts, whatever you want to call it,
too scared of losing their licenses,
who won't come out. Yeah. And I find that it's like people don't really care about the Hippocratic Oath.
No, you don't need to.
Is it Hippocratic Oath? Did I say that wrong?
I think so.
Hippocratic Oath? I can't remember. I think that's what it's called. But you have this oath that you take to not, do no harm, blah, blah, blah. But to tell the truth, if anybody saw the numbers, we wouldn't be promoting this stuff. And the fact that there's more people detransitioning than there are people transitioning.
You're not allowed to talk about that.
Huge.
Don't you dare talk about that. Are you kidding me? They'll shut you to the world. Yeah, they do not. They do not want it to be dismantled. They do not. They have their plan, and their plan is to dismantle. Yeah. Actually, so when you remove men from the household, you create a weaker generation that can be easily brought to their knees in a sense, and that's what the whole plan is. And as I say, Satan has one playbook. He just uses it generation to generation, and just it rotates. And now it just has computers involved. So now he's better at. He's got a better tool to use, kind of a thing. And of course, now AI is taking people who have no idea. That was the thing with bringing up the deal that Cooper was talking about, was you can pull video and images off of Facebook per se, take all the kids in there, take all the clothes off of the kids, do whatever you want to with AI, and now you got a big library that you're selling to people or doing whatnot. I watched a video the other day.
Is that illegal, you think? What if they have AI generated, completely AI generated, like they're not taking the photo of somebody and changing it, but they're taking an AI generated photo of adults having sex with children, and you have that video?
It's still child porn.
Is it still? Is it? Okay, that's what I'm
I think it's still child porn. Under the category of it, it would be even hard pressed to even. I guess you could still today prove that it's AI, but in the future you're not gonna be able to prove that it's AI.
Yeah, that's just creepy.
They need to have some deal. They need a watermark of some kind. Like, it was really nice when AI videos, like they all had 6 fingers and their ears were all weird. You're like, okay, yeah, definitely. They need to bring that back. Dude, that needs to be a thing.
We were watching a show and it has AI commercials, completely AI human beings that look realistic. And it's just so unnerving. Yeah. The mannerisms they have are very realistic and all that. It's just like,
they're talking about now. They found a girl from Idaho, maybe, she was corresponding with some guy, she thought I think was a kid kind of a deal, and he convinces this stupid 15-year-old girl to move in with him and to meet him down by the border. Literally,
The Mexican border?
literally, yes.
From Idaho?
I don't remember where this
That's
was,
a
but I
big
want to
stint.
say
That's a
it was
long drive.
something like that. Oh, they were paying for a flight and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
getting down. So what they found was they had dating services type apps that AI was communicating with people and getting people and convincing them to meet up, and then shooting those meetups to cartels, saying, okay, they'll be here at this location. It's just AI. They didn't have to do nothing but sit there and wait for it to blip on their phone.
Yeah.
They drove over to the place. The Border Patrol was able to find her as she was like, confused, getting out of a vehicle, walking up to a truck with like 3 men in it who are ready just to, throw her in there and take off. And mom's freaking out, trying to get a hold of whoever and trying to just see what's going on. And I think they were tracking her phone is how
could
they
you be
got
that
it.
dumb?
And that's the thing. I watched this family screaming at their, not screaming, but they were like, excuse me, what? She bought a pair of pants that she was so excited about online. This 15-year-old girl. I'm like, why are you buying crap online? How is this possible? And I found out that even the women that I work with, their kids will buy stuff online.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have children who have
Very common.
access to your,
yeah.
And
They use Apple Pay and things like that.
She was like, yeah, all I had to do was give them my social security number and I got these so-and-sos for this, for this price. And they're like, excuse me?
Yeah.
And she had no clue whatsoever what that was. And I'm like, yeah, that's your fault, stupid parents.
Yeah, you never. Yeah.
You obviously didn't know how dumb your daughter was and didn't, she's like, they were like, you did what? And she's like, all I had to do was give them my social security number. They were this price, like, hello, like kind of thing. Like these nice little pants that she got or something. I don't even know what it's called. I couldn't understand the name of it. But that's the generation that's out there. Like, you're not gonna have anything to it. I worked years ago with a girl who at the age of 15 and 16 racked up $24,000 worth of credit card loans. By the time she was 18, she had $24,000 in credit, and her whole life was like just done with.
Yeah.
And so she dropped out of high school, maybe it was, or something. She's obviously not going to college, is what she had told me. Very pretty girl, could have gone to, like a psychology program or a doctoral program, maybe even, like, very brilliant. But that weight was there, and so she was being forced to pay that off because she couldn't do nothing. She could not get any kind of help to go anywhere. Kind of
Just
thing.
don't pay it.
Yeah, like you're 16.
You're
just
that
don't pay
young.
it.
Just don't pay it.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah, if they're dumb enough to give it to you, they can take the chances. It's not like they didn't make their money
I think
back
they went
already.
after her when she hit 18. That was when they were
Don't
able
care.
to do it. But
Don't- still don't
I
pay
wouldn't
it.
either. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Send me to jail. I don't care.
I don't have credit cards for a reason. They keep shutting them.
I
off
have.
when did,
I have
so.
one.
I would get one
all the
and
time.
use it for online stuff, but
Yeah.
I would pay it off immediately. I had
That's what I
the
do.
first one that I'd had, because when I was in Japan, I didn't have any credit cards. I just didn't need them, and so I have zero credit.
It's because nobody there will take them because they don't want to
No,
pay
they
taxes.
won't. There's cash. Yeah, they will not pay
Cash
Visa.
only.
It's cash everywhere you go, and so I used my debit card.
You hand them your credit card, like, I would rather give it to you for free than take that.
I was buying a car with just a open transfer. It was with my bank card, and so it was no Visa or nothing. But they saw the Visa on the card, and they're like, "We're not going to do it." I was like, "No, this is my bank. This is not a credit card." And I say, all the bank has done is they've optioned to take all the money and just shoot over into whatever account you want to. Here's how they told me how you do it. Nope, I had to carry cash.
Yeah.
On the train. $14,000 equivalent, cash on the train, thinking, oh my Lord.
Yeah.
And I probably shared this already, but I'm sitting there thinking, only in Japan would I be willing to do this. Because one,
Pretty safe country.
I can destroy most of the people here if they
Yeah,
can't.
they're little.
Nobody has a clue that I've got the money anyways. And it's very exceptionally safe. I could have left that little bag of money. It was a little backpack. I could have left it on the train and would have been there 2 days later.
I know they do have a lot of pickpockets though, don't they?
They have pickpockets.
So
Yeah.
it'd probably be there, but it might be empty.
So rumor has it no. Yeah, because
Really?
they would be seen. Yeah, they would be seen. Most people I've talked to have left stuff on trains, like it's right there. Like, they'll have somebody will take it and hand it into a lost and found section they have.
Yeah.
People will find wallets on the ground and put them up somewhere high so somebody can see them, and they'll be there when they come, like looking for them, kind of a thing and all. But yeah, I went in. So I get to the car dealership and I'm looking, and this is a pretty cool story. I can't remember if I've shared this or not. I hate that. I'll look and see. I go to buy a vehicle, and there's no women in Japan do not sell cars. Men buy cars in Japan for the most part, and they won't buy from a woman.
Really?
This is what I was told.
I'll take a female salesman over a male.
Absolutely.
Same as doctor.
100 times over. Yeah.
I don't want a male dude touching my genitalia. I'd rather have a female doctor. Give me a girl touching
I'm like,
my junk.
I know where you're putting your fingers. You got a nurse around somewhere that's going to take care of this.
You're not going to be gentle at all.
You judge her. You're not happy about this.
Yeah, no.
At least give me somebody who's going to, I'm going to cause a little, But anyway, so they gave, but the gentleman that they had was this young guy too, really young. He brought a Japanese lady from the back area. I guess they mostly do the paperwork, and she spoke really good broken English. And so she came up there, and we talked, and that was how I found out. I found out from my landlady that they won't. And I remember more of this story. My landlady was one that told me, she's like, yeah, she cannot sell that car. They would fire her. Like, there's no way that even if she tried to do anything. And I'm like, I feel bad because we started the transaction. I went back, and then we came back. And I was like, I feel bad because she's doing all the work.
Yeah.
All he's doing is just sitting there. She's doing all the computer work and paperwork because he doesn't have a clue. And so, and I was just buying like a little Mini Cooper. It was the coolest car I ever owned. It was so much fun. It was like all turbo. Anyway,
I'd be too nervous to drive in Japan.
I just drove it to work and back. That was it. I drove
so little room.
I drove it to the train station, like on the trains, and then drove it home. That was it. Yeah. I knew that I would get lost and my GPS would be gone. I go there, I start the paperwork, whatever, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, you need to talk to him about giving you some commission. And she's like, huh? She doesn't have a clue. She's like, oh, no. And I said, well, look, if he doesn't take you out to dinner, and I'm looking at him, so then I'll take you out to dinner. And I'm like looking at him like, if he doesn't want to take you out for appreciation to a dinner, then I'll take you out to, like that. She's just a little baby. I mean, she's like probably 22. He's probably 26 range. And I'm like, you can go ahead and translate that because it's me talking. And she didn't want to, but she kind of did.
Hint. Take this girl out, you moron.
He kind of like, I remember that because he kind of had laughed. And I bought the car. When I went down there, I went to the bank, pulled money out. I said, I need it in yen. Shot down on the train. Like I said, I've got it was like $17,000 in yen. It was like 14,000 in American currency, but it's all in yen. It's just sitting on my chest in this little bag that I have, that firefighter bag thingy. And I'm like, this is just weird. I walk into a room. It's just a big open room, and there's just tables. Boom, boom. And there's just dudes out there pulling. They got bags in their laps, and they're just pulling stacks of cash, and they're just setting them on the table. And everybody in there is buying a car, and they're paying for it with cash because nobody uses cards, and nobody in that area was getting loans.
So, as I say, do they not need loans?
Yeah, they do loans. But again, these guys were all paying cash. And there was a lot of, there's probably, I'd say maybe 8 or 9 tables that were full.
It's like these magically, they get paid enough to afford a car in cash? I mean,
well, I bought a used car, and it was, like I say, it was, I kind of almost didn't even know what I was doing at the time, or whatever, but I bought that car with TDY paychecks.
Oh, really?
We traveled so much. The first few months that I was there, they were like, wait a minute, where are you going? And like somebody heard us talking, and we're like, we're going so. I don't have your orders. And we're like, huh? Like, you need orders. We're like, what are you talking about? You travel an hour past base. You have to be on orders. And we're like, that's dumb.
I need permission. Is like permission?
That is no. TDY means they're putting you on orders so that way they know you're outside of base, but then they pay you for being out there. They pay you for your food, your meals, your hotel. We're like, that's just dumb. You guys pay our hotel. We're fine. We don't need to pay. We literally fought it. We're like, what are you? They're like, that's regulation. We're not making anything up or doing anything illegal. That's if you're, and so, and my counterpart who's like been there, he was my right hand. He was like, I've been here for almost 18 years. We've never done that, He's
Dang.
like, I'm like, Rube, I think you missed out on something here. We traveled everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
And I bought a very nice car.
Well, you kind of have to get to do anything.
Right, you do, yeah. Because I would do 2 tours myself, not their tour, but in a way, myself, and then come back, and then we would take the kids and do those same 2 and things like that. And then we would go to all.
Oh, crap. I didn't realize how late it was.
8:46, yeah. I'll wrap this one up. So I go in there, and everybody's counting, and they're counting each bill, flipping through them. You know, they're quick about it. They go through all of it. They give me the car, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And my landlady was with me at the time, when I returned the car. So I had the car, and I was trying to get rid of it because I was leaving, and I was like, do you want it? Do you want anybody who wants it? And she's like, I don't think I know anybody. I said, well, what if we? I had the guy's business card. I said, what if we go back up there? Maybe you think they'll take it back, because I mean, it's not doing us any good. And so she calls him on the phone, and she's talking to him. And he's all excited. He's like, Johnson's son. He pulls his phone.
He remembers you?
Yeah, he remembers me. That's right. We went to the probably the only American he ever sold a car to.
Yeah.
We went to because I was face to face with him, and he pulled his phone out. We went to the dealership, and she and I think we were just out doing stuff or something. I can't remember why we were there. And she may have just taken me there to talk with him and see. But we're there, and she had remembered him from a time. I think I had called her and FaceTime just to get some conversations going, and so she had kind of remembered the situation of her. So she, she had the name of we want. Anyway, I walk into the dealership, and I'm trying to just see if they want to buy the car back or anything like that. And he's like, Johnson's son, and she's talking to him, and she's like, oh. And she's looking at me, and he pulls his phone out, and doop, 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 and he pulls it up, and she's the girl that helped him is sitting in a chair with a baby in her lap, and she's like, Johnson's son.
Oh,
they got
gosh.
married.
So he did take her out.
I gave him. He told me. He told her. He told me through her. He said, you gave me the courage to actually talk to her, and say, hey, and I took her out to dinner, and we got married.
Wow.
And had a kid. And she wasn't working anymore. She's at home, of course, because when a Japanese woman gets married, she's done working. She's like, I'm raising the babies. But that was what I discovered in Japan was they don't know how to spark the conversation. They don't know how to strike it up.
See, this is why they should have never gotten rid of slapping butts in at the workplace.
They still kind of do that, I think, probably in Japan.
Oh, do they?
It is 1950s in Japan. It is, it's very medieval.
Mackenzie would say that to me. She's like, it'd been nice if you would have been able to slap me on the butt and let me know that you were interested when we knew each other at work. I'm like, yeah, I would have got fired though.
I wonder if you could do it at work with a ring on her finger, like if it's already married.
If it's your wife, you probably can. Yeah,
It probably depends on who complains.
yeah, if she complained about it, you probably still get in trouble.
I'd be some dumb lady. There's a lady. Oh, I wished I had this video, guys. You can search it and find it up. I thought it was fake, and it turns out that everybody's like, no, this happened kind of thing. She is standing. This is in the UK. She's standing outside of this fenced area with a pond, and these ducks are going at it. This dude's on this female duck going at it. She's screaming at it. Get off of her. Get off. Get. She's walking
there's
down.
ducks mating.
There's ducks mating in a little pond.
So it's not a dude in a pond raping a duck.
It is ducks in a pond.
Okay.
And this male duck is just having his day.
It is kind of a violent process.
It is a violent process when
Yeah.
it's done. She's screaming bloody murder at him to stop. And she's walking in an area where you're not supposed to be walking because she's inside this little fence line. It's just a fence, a little bit of rock. And she's kind of like tippy-toeing through it, screaming, gets in the water and scares them away.
Oh.
Gets in the water and scares a duck away because she's too stupid. That's who's out there today.
And ducks mate for life.
Yeah, they stay together forever. I know, because my dog disrupted that family one day. We won't talk about it. That's a good place to end it, ladies and gentlemen.
Orphan ducks.
Anybody know how to raise ducks? Anybody want duck eggs down the future? I appreciate you guys for sticking around. We'll see you.
And if you did, there's something wrong with you mentally.
Yeah, for real.